Koffie.
Zo,
That's what y'all act This is me.
Ze zullen wat... Gaat je een kakje wel op weg. Hey, oh shit, my back. Hey! Woo! I wish. It's not always like yours. Just a peeky.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Okay, let's be honest. Let's deal with the elephant.
Test 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Hello, good morning, chaps. This is Ryle coming in live on your Monday.
Tasting like apples, bacon, beer, brandy, bread.
Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. And I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning, you beautiful souls. Welcome to it. My name is Graham Richards.
And I'm Zoe Brown, and this is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3.
Let's deal with the elephant in the room. Yes, we have gone back to alert level 4. We know that everyone is freaking out, and understandably so. We were there during hard lockdown. We've experienced the loss. We've done this before. We've got the tools to be able to do it again. I don't say this to be dismissive or trite in any way. I know that a lot of people are under a huge amount of strain, but we are here with you, and we'll do our utmost to hopefully keep you entertained and a little bit inspired through what is going to be a difficult, yes, a very manageable process. So we got your back.
That's right. And I think this morning is also very fitting that we find inspiration from our local heroes, from serving our country to writing stories from South African lived experiences. And we'll also, you know, all the things that these two of these individuals, we're going to have them on the show, and they're really, really special.
Yep, we're going to catch up with Miss South Africa 2019, Sasha Laurel, to find out about her, what sounds like incredible mission to increase access to higher education. Then we're going to meet the author who became an author by accident, in fact, Yusuf Daniels, as he releases his third book now titled Living the Hustle. Dollar what you must.
Oh, I love that. Dollar what you must.
They've got some nods. Suddenly the hustlers in the studio took notice of that. But I can't wait to embrace these guys. It feels like it's been too long, man. A whole weekend. Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning.
Dollar you must through. Yes. That's how you start a morning.
That is definitely how you start a morning. Good morning, beautiful soul. This Monday morning, we are right here doing that thing. Dala what you must, the theme of the day, of course. And another theme of the day, which Carl and I are going to chat to you about. Before we do, let's just check in with you and remind you that this morning, don't forget, you are enough. That is all you need to think about today. You are enough for anything that you wish to achieve this morning. And one thing we're thinking about is, are you enough to become your own book title? And if your life was a book, what would that title be, Carl?
Okay. Are you asking me, or must I give you one?
I'm asking. I want to know. What do you want?
I think my title would definitely be Moenie Tyd Wasty.
Okay.
Just simple, because I think that people spend too much of their time doubting themselves and actually not actually just saying, hey, I trust myself, let's do something, it'll be cool. For you, I got a book title for you.
What do you
The
think?
Ryle High Club. A story of how any height in your life is achievable through hiking, intermittent fasting, and having a six-pack.
Oh, that's all you need, people. Watch this space. That's going to be coming live at you, of course. I love it. I actually love it. But let us know on our social media channels. We want to chat to you and find out what book you'd be in or what your story would be if it were a book. Let us know. And, of course, we'll come through and have a good laugh today, along with all the beautiful souls coming in on the show this morning. Let's kick it off first up with the news. Let's find out what's happening.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'll start with national news. South Africa will move to an adjusted level 4 for the next fortnight as the country is faced with a rising number of COVID-19 infections, dominated by the more transmissible Delta variant, President Ramaphosa said last night. All gatherings, indoors and outdoors, were prohibited. Public places such as beaches and parks remain open, but no gatherings, including social, religious and political, are permitted. A curfew will be in place from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. and non-essential establishments will have to close at 8 p.m. Alcohol sales on-site or off-site consumption is now prohibited. Restaurants and other eateries may only serve food for takeaways or delivery, no sit-ins. And the president also announced that the school holidays will begin this Wednesday, but that all schools are expected to be closed by Friday. Contact classes in tertiary institutions will be closed this week. Residences, however, will remain open. Ramaphosa said people will not be allowed to travel in and out of Gauteng for leisure purposes. Only travel for work, commercial purposes and freight will be allowed. People who are in the province will be allowed to return home, and people outside Gauteng will be able to return home. The situation will be reassessed in a fortnight. Moving to news abroad, rich countries are opening up societies and vaccinating young people who are not at great risk of COVID-19, while the poorest countries cruelly lack doses, the World Health Organization has said, condemning the global failure. Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus says the situation in Africa, where new infections and deaths spiraled by nearly 40% last week compared to the previous week, is extremely dangerous as the Delta variant spreads globally. Ghebreyesus, who is an Ethiopian, pleaded with rich nations to give poor nations the vaccine. And police are trying to trace a spectator in connection with a multi-rider pileup during the first stage of the Tour de France on Saturday. The female spectator was spotted leaning into the path of the speeding peloton holding a sign saying "Granny" and "Granddad." The woman fled the scene after the crash. Police say they have launched a criminal investigation. One rider had to withdraw from the tour, and altogether 8 riders had to be treated by a doctor. And now for news concerning a well-known beacon in Cape Town. The statue of Oscar the Seal is a well-known beacon at the Cape Town V&A waterfront and also a mascot of a 5-star luxury hotel overlooking the Atlantic. The story of Oscar, the Cape Fur Seal, is the stuff of legends. Oscar was named after the kind-hearted fisherman with whom he shared an unlikely friendship. The two would meet every day on the pier near where the hotel stands today. After the fisherman's passing, Oscar continued to visit the site. And now Oscar has a friend. Sculptor Godfrey Dambuleni has created a duplicate version of Oscar using spent Nespresso capsules from the hotel. Dambuleni, a Zimbabwean who has lived in SA for 23 years, he visited our studios in March this year, runs a studio in Salt River, and for the past 5 years he's been using Nespresso capsules to make elephants, rhinos, human beings, etc. And Dambuleni says the 1.5-meter statue of Oscar is made of 3,000 capsules and took some 3 weeks to make. The hotel's general manager, Joanne Shelby, who commissioned the artist to make a version of Oscar the Seal, says the hotel views sustainable awareness very seriously. Well, on that happy note, that's where I leave your morning headlines. Here's a first look at your sport.
Thank you so much, though. Let's start with cricket and some good news from a South African perspective. The Proteas claimed a 16-run victory over the West Indies at the National Cricket Stadium in St. George's late last night. South Africa posting 166 for 7 in their allotted 20 overs. The Windies failing to reach that target, finishing on 150 for 9. So South Africa now levelled that 5-match series 1 apiece. On Saturday, the West Indies registering an 8-wicket win over the Proteas in the first T20. That third T20 match will take place from 8 p.m. in the evening, obviously, here, SA time tomorrow. Then on to rugby, the Bulls and Griquas both bounced back from opening round Currie Cup losses to record their first wins in the new campaign. The defending champions, the Bulls, they beat the Pumas 32-27 at Loftus on Friday. Then the Griquas showed their class to beat the Cheetahs 31-10 in Kimberley. Currie Cup action will continue this coming Wednesday as the Cheetahs welcome the Bulls to Bloem before a coastal derby between Western Province and the Sharks down in Cape Town. And staying with rugby news, Border Women confirmed their place in the Women's Premier Division final, where they will go head-to-head with defending champions and log leaders, definitely the former outfit, Western Province. So Border claimed a 38-10 victory over the Sharks women to set up a final meeting with Western Province. And other results, the women from Cape Town, they absolutely thrashed the EP Queens 41-15 to remain unbeaten in the competition. And while the Buoyant Dames, they beat the Blue Bulls women 21-0 in Pretoria on Friday. Then on to football, Kaizer Chiefs have done it. They've booked their spot in the CAF Champions League final after a goalless draw against Moroccan team Virat Casablanca at the FNB Stadium on Saturday. Yamakosi advancing on a 1-0 aggregate and will now face reigning African champions Al Ahly on the 17th of July. This is the first time the Soweto Giants have advanced to the final in the club's history. Well done to all the Amakosi out there. Then staying with football on the international fold, Belgium, they stunned European champions, Portugal, 1-0 in Seville last night to secure their spot in the Euro 2020 quarterfinals. So Belgium, along with the Czech Republic, Italy and Denmark, have all advanced to the last 8. The round of 16 results saw Denmark thrash Wales 4-0, Italy beating Austria 2-1, and the Czech Republic beating the Netherlands. They were down to 10 men, in fact, 2-0 to advance there. There will be 2 Euro 2020 fixtures today as Croatia take on Spain at 6 p.m. and then the world champions France will be up against Switzerland, and that one's the late game at 9 p.m. Then finally on to motorsport, Red Bull's Max Verstappen, he extended his lead at the top of the drivers' standings after winning the Styrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring yesterday. 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton, he finished second, and his Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas, he rounded off the podium positions in third. Well, we'll delve a little deeper into all the weekend sporting action over the next half hour, so stick around for that. Right now, though, let's see what the weather has in store for us today, and it sounds like some crazy weather out there, so stay tuned.
At the weather action, and starting off with some news that you may be experiencing at the moment in the Western Cape. An orange level 5 warning for rain resulting in flooding today over the city of Cape Town, as well as the yellow level 2 warning for the southern parts of the west coast. The Cape Winelands and the Overberg has been issued by the SA Weather Service. An intense cold front was expected to make landfall early this morning, leading to heavy downpours with falls of 45 to 65 millimeters near the mountainous regions. Light snow is also possible over the western high-lying areas of the Western Cape this afternoon, and the wet weather is expected to persist throughout the week as several cold fronts are on their way. Rainfall is likely to continue over the Western Cape and western and southern parts of the Northern Cape tomorrow and on Wednesday and Thursday. In contrast, spring-like weather is expected for the northeastern parts of the country. Warm to hot temperatures can be expected in the low veld of Mpumalanga and Limpopo and the eastern parts of KwaZulu-Natal. Now, while we enjoy experiencing some beautiful weather from our part of South Africa, we do also enjoy some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the US of A. Now, for your first international update of the day, we are reporting on the weather forecast for Savannah, Georgia. This is the oldest city in the state. Savannah is known throughout the country for its beautiful coastal landscapes, its well-preserved architecture, and its rich, vibrant history. It was a strategic port city in the American Revolution and during the American Civil War. Savannah is today an industrial center and important Atlantic seaport. A couple of heavy showers and thunderstorms are forecast for the area on your Monday. A mostly cloudy day is expected, reaching a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius. Now, bringing it back to our South African borders, it is time to show some of your amazing sunrise submissions we have received. Now, kicking us off on this beautiful Monday, regular contributor Alan Radnicki shared the stunning and picturesque fresh winter morning from Sutherland as the sun begins to rise. Gershwin Shaw, another regular from Pretoria, shared this soft morning view as the sun rises in the distance over the hills. And if you'd like to see your photo featured during one of these weather segments, it is really simple. Just head on over to the Expresso Facebook page to share your sunrise view and location with us. Now, talking about those locations, let's take a look at those temperatures across South Africa, and starting off with Polokwane, 8 to 24 for you today. Bombela, you can expect 14, rising steadily to a 33-degree day. Pretoria, Goeiemorgen, 11 to 22 for you. Johannesburg, 10 to 20. Mahikeng can expect 8 this morning, rising to 26. Klerksdorp, your max is 25 degrees Celsius from a low of 6. Kimberley, 3 to 24. Bloemfontein, 1 to 22 for you. Richards Bay, 19 to 31. Pietermaritzburg, a high of 29 degrees. That's from a low of 8. Durban, 29 for you as well, from a low of 16. Mthatha, 5 to 28. East London, 11 to 28 for you. Cradock, 3 to 23. Gqeberha, 11 to 22. George, 8 to 18. That is a 30% chance of rain for you in that area. Cape Town, 9 to 14. An 80% chance of rain, and indeed it is raining already. Worcester, 11 to 15. Same for you. 60% chance of precipitation. Sutherland, 1 to 11. And Uppington wrapping up with you as always, 6, rising steadily to 23 degrees Celsius. That's a wrap of the weather news and temperatures. I'll have another update for you in the next hour. In the meantime, if you've got a good sunrise pic, you can send it over to the Expresso Facebook page.
Thank you so much, Carl. Looking chilly all around SA, but we've got something perfect for it. Yeah, just a little bit.
Sutherland, gee whiz, man.
It's like when they put the sun on, it's just for show.
Yeah, no, it's just polite.
Well, look, a perfect
Stay
way
warm.
to spend your time indoors, of course, is reading, right? And when it comes to children, enjoying reading and storybooks with characters who look and sound like them, it really truly helps them to form a connection with the book on an absolute another level. But whatever happens when these storybooks aren't available to children in their own home language, right? So by translating just one word every day with Cadbury Dairy Milk, you can help co-author a children's library full of African language storybooks and in your own words. Now that's the hashtag in our own words, so that no child has to think, what if, right?
That's right.
Exactly, man. Get access. Everyone needs to be able to access the joy and love of reading. And this morning we're going to play our part. We're going to be authors for just a second here.
Yeah, let's
and we're
do
going
it.
to help to translate the word grandmother. And we are going with Setswana this morning. So we'll give you our hopefully okay pronunciation of the word in Setswana. Or it is in fact one of our official 11 languages, spoke by quite a few people, 8.2 million people in the country. So we expect 8.2 million translations of the word grandmother, but in Setswana it's nkoko.
Nkoko.
Like that.
There we go.
And I picture my grandmother when I say it. So, you know, like it feels good. It's
got that
it's like
grandma.
Yeah.
in Afrikaans.
In Afrikaans is dit oma.
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 Yeah, it becomes a completely
Oma.
different word in a different language. What it conjures, your obviously Omar has a particular connotation on the show, we get that. But it makes all the difference to hear it in your own words. I love that.
It really does. So why don't you translate a word a day and help co-author a children's library in each language so that every story ends happy. Now visit cadbury.co.za to create storybooks, and don't forget that hashtag in our own words.
And then I'm going to invite G in.
Okay, cool, perfect. Sounds good.
Cool, man. I'll be ready for this.
Unfortunately, G is going to be in there, but yeah, but it's fine.
That's tough.
That's a good thing.
Don't use up all your good material until I get there, please, eh?
Okay, I'll keep it in. How are you back?
Last minute. You know how we roll.
There's a mic.
I can zoom it in nicely. Okay. Morning. How are you doing?
Doing your bed?
Good, thanks. Nice to see you. Can I take a screenshot as usual, please?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Here's
So
mine.
you're ready. I just remember which buttons I need to use here. Okay. 3, 2, 1. God, fuck, I turned the phone.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Back, you're live with Expresso as we literally get dressed for the morning. Now, we know winter, especially the onset of this cold, rainy weather down in the Cape, but cold weather across means we need to be comfortable, but we need to be warm, which says to me one thing: we need to layer. That's what I'm doing this morning, layering up. I absolutely love the cotton tees. You can get long sleeve and short sleeve, but the V-neck is my go-to. In my cupboard, I have about 20, either grey or black. Absolutely love them. But it is a little bit chilly, so I'm going to layer up. And you could do that with something slightly smarter, a blazer. You could go with a bomber jacket. They've got some amazing styles out at the moment. But I'm just going with a beautiful light cotton shirt, which is just going to take the look to a slightly higher level. I'm going to be comfortable. I can dress it up now. I can sit down in front of a computer screen, have a Zoom meeting if I need to, or I can be relaxed and just enjoy being in something really, really comfortable. So you can layer up and you can have a little bit of fun with all your winter fashion right now. You can do it online, in store, or with the amazing Woolies app. How's that look?
So, in case you didn't catch all the sporting action of the weekend, we'd love to break it down for you. Now, the Proteas leveled the 5-match T20 International Series against the Windies. That was just last night after losing on Saturday. Kaizer Chiefs, they booked their place in the CAF Champions League final, and Belgium, Italy, Czech Republic and Denmark advanced to the Euro 2020 quarters with defending champions Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal knocked out. And video creator and rugby coach Kosi joins us via video call with all of those details. Goeiemorgen, good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
Hey, Carl, how's it? Feeling
Fantastic,
good.
my
How are
friend.
you doing, bud?
It's so good to see. I'm so glad that you and I can do this alone together. I'm so happy about that because...
What's up, James? How's it?
How's it?
Sorry, Kutle.
You see now,
I'm not like the jealous type, okay, but I heard like Friday was really special. I don't know why. But
Exactly. You know, so Kutle and I, we did this like a speed round of results and fixtures, and we like changed up the whole weekend sports preview.
And everyone loved it.
People loving it. The ratings actually shot up.
They went even higher.
Now
Wow,
you obviously
man.
sat down now, so here we are. Right. Anyway. Let's start off. Shall we start off with cricket? Shall we do that? Let's do that. Yeah. Let's go there.
What went wrong on Friday that went right last night? You know, should we? I know we don't want to be kind of pessimistic about it, but should we be alarmed that the Proteas lost their opening T20 based on the performance that they put in last night?
well, you look at the difference between on Saturday and Sunday. I think the difference is maybe it's something they ate. Maybe they just didn't start the day off well. You know, I mean, they didn't have a great lunch and then straight into a game. Maybe I think the secret in the camp was they didn't eat lunch yesterday before the game. They just went straight into the game. Just had a couple of cool drinks and they went straight in. But I think the Proteas that they showed how well they can bounce back. I think that's the biggest thing is how well they were able to bounce back. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see how they carry on the rest of the T20 series.
Rich food, it's a killer, man. It is. So I hear you.
Yeah,
I completely. It could be possibly devastating. What do you make of the makeup of this T20 side? Obviously, a fantastic Test series win where they were testing out a couple of options. Do you think we've got the balance? Is this, for instance, a T20 World Cup winning side? Because surely that's what it's got to be about, building that squad.
I think there is. I think there's elements there. I mean, you still look, there's the likes of Faf du Plessis on the side, the likes of potentially Iman Tahiri could come back. So we have gun players still not in the side yet. But I'm going to look at I'd love for one of the all-rounders to step up a little bit more. Otherwise, I mean, the batting has been decent, the bowling has been good. Leicester bowled extremely well. So I think we have a side that could go to the World Cup and challenge.
Although I can tell you that the only thing that worries me is that if you look at the contrast of victories, you got the Windies beating South Africa by 8 wickets in that first game, and then we beating them by 16 runs. The contrast is quite big over there. So, as you mentioned, no more rich foods. And, of course, only focusing, especially when it comes to, that batting order, we have to be a bit more critical and of ourselves and actually go back to the drawing board with regard to that. Because 8 wickets versus 16 runs, I'm just going to stay positive, that's all.
Yeah, maybe orange squares is where it lies. Orange segments on the day might be the answer there. Let's talk a little bit of football, my friend. I'm sorry, I'm struggling. I'm trying to concentrate, but I keep seeing your jersey, and then I just kind of... but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, man. I'll just
jersey, though.
I won't
Think
look up.
about
We are equally shocked and surprised to see Amakosi, based on the season that they've had. I don't mean this as a dig at the class and the potential of this Amakosi team, but I mean in context of the challenges that they've faced over this last season, to see them in the final and to get there in the way that they have. I know, obviously, they moved through on aggregate, but to beat Wydad Casablanca, that's no mean feat, and now they're up against probably the biggest team in Africa, Al Ahly.
I mean, first of all, Graham, this jersey I'm wearing is a jersey of a European Champions League winner. But you know much about that, so. But yeah, listen, but with Kaizer Chiefs, it's the same thing. I mean, I think they've actually applied if they can play all their games in Africa next year. No games in South Africa, because clearly the PSL has been holding them back. It's just been holding them back. And when they play in the CAF Champions League, they get to express themselves, and they show they really are. So this was an outstanding win for Chiefs. I thought they were extremely solid in the weekend to come out there, not concede a goal, get a result, go play against Al Ahly in the final. I think it's hopefully get that star. I think it's outstanding. I mean, I could see a situation where Chelsea and the Chiefs are Champions League winners. So what a season that'll be.
Nope, no, it's still the jersey. That's all I can see. Yeah,
I mean, I can see the jersey made just
really
compliment a bit of the Euro action that happened over the past weekend. Now, you know, Coach, I'm sure you can, and we're going to do a nice speed round over here, but if you were a betting person and you loved underdogs this weekend, you may be in it to win it. If you look at the results, Wales going down to Denmark 4-0. Italy going past Austria 2-1. Netherlands beaten by the Czech Republic 2-0. And then you got Belgium 1-0 over Portugal.
Is that a shock? Looking at the strength of that Belgium side, I mean, this could be their best ever squad ever in the history of their country. Was that a shock to you?
No, I definitely not. I thought Belgium were playing well, were playing better soccer coming in, and I think that they're slightly better side. I think with Portugal, they're full of better individual players, but they couldn't string together as a team. So no, I think this is definitely Belgium's best chance. They're my dark horses to go all the way and win this.
Ooh, dark horses. I'm still going for France. I don't know about you, but that's still my team for the Euros. I have a good feeling about France.
England up against Germany, all these classic matches. Absolutely beautiful, man. I'm going to try get the image, the visual of your jersey out of my head now for the next 10 minutes. We'll chat to you again in just a moment to delve a bit deeper into some of the other amazing sporting action. Coach Cookie, we love you, man. We love you, dude. Even if you are cheating on me with another broadcaster, I can deal with it.
Thank you so much.
I can deal with it.
That was okay. By the way, that entire segment, that was okay. It was about 50% of what we gave on Friday, but it's okay. We'll move on.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as the pitter-patter of rain falls on our studio. Absolutely loving the wet weather here, but just please be careful out there. It's going to get hectic over the next couple of days if you're down south. But right now, we're going to talk money.
Yeah.
Money.
I'm ready.
Yeah, and we are lucky to receive a lot of gifts and yummy food on this show. That's one of the positive spin-offs, I think. You certainly would have discovered that. But this morning, we've got what looked like a burger delivery. I can't tell if I can smell it. It looks something...
I think
delicious.
I'm imagining the smell, but I know it could be the kitchen for later.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that like a curry roll? Is that a burger in there? Why don't you go and check that out?
I think it could be a schnitzel.
But just a schnitzel?
A schnitzel, yes.
With some pumpkin fritters, maybe?
A schnitzel, it should
What
say.
does it sound
is,
about there?
Is your audience eating their 13th check?
What? No. What's inside? Is it a burger?
I'm hoping, well, for our benefit, I'm hoping. Okay, let's go.
I'll
Also, they dropped off this nice... Did you see my top?
Nice, bro.
I just got into it because it's cold. Okay, are you ready? So I've got this... Okay, so it's got... Oh, my word. I don't mean to make a meal of it.
Oh.
But...
Don't make me... You're going to eat your words soon, eh?
I'm going to... So, okay, the first little item in the box, it says, on average... Okay, these are... I think it's stats to chew on. On average, South Africans spend 660 Rand on fast food each month. That is, listen to this, 7,920 bucks.
I can't swallow that.
year.
I'm finding that very difficult to swallow. Wow, that's a little bit
I
terrifying,
would lick this,
eh?
but of course, it's not the time to.
660 bucks a month. Sure.
It's a lot. If you think about it,
That
just think
could
about
be
it very
your-
carefully.
That
It's a
could be
lot.
your cell phone for a lot of people. That could be your internet connection for a lot of people. That could be, essential cash reserves, petrol for the month.
You're scaring me here.
Eh?
'Cause now I'm thinking about all the stuff that I ordered this past
I'm
month.
about to have a panic attack. Okay,
Oh, no,
because
don't worry, because there is another little thing, okay, in this box. It's something a bit more satisfying, if
Okay.
you ask me.
A bit more filling.
So this is for people who save. Now it says, but if you saved 40% by buying cheaper meals, and not those things that like, I want to do the super this and
Yeah.
add on that and
I'm
add
paying
on
a
that.
30 Rand delivery.
You have saved 3,168 Rand.
Oh, that went down a lot more easily.
It's so true. Because, I mean, if you think about it, 660 a month, you've got 7,920 a year, 3,168 sounds a bit better.
I love that. That's a lot.
Quite
That's
tasty.
Just by, say, halving the amount that you're spending on food. So maybe just make it conscious that one time a month,
Yeah.
those 2 times a month that you're buying something like that, like a takeaway meal. I'm still a little bit upset that there was nothing to eat inside the box, but
There's a cup there if you want to grab that. What's in the cup?
that's some of my favorite. It's half full. It's positivity.
Really, that's it. Half full is important. And I
absolutely.
think it's quite important for us to actually have a quick discussion on the fact that, you know what, spending 660 bucks on fast food a month, or even paying that to going out for dinners. I mean,
Is it
these
worth
are
it?
questions. Yeah, is it actually worth it? And I mean, how often do you actually cook at home? Because if you think about 660, that's a lot of groceries that you can use and a lot of meal prep that you can get into that could take you so much further than just a one meal sitting.
Our thing now is we're cooking a meal for ourselves and
Yeah.
not before, making enough that our kids can have it for lunch the following day and
Exactly.
just letting it roll like that.
All right, so a couple of comments that came through, and thank you very much for you jumped in and you gave us exactly what your thoughts are. Just a way in. Temile Malefane said this one, shoo, once in a while,
Shoo.
sometimes I skip a month with ordering fast food. Thank you for that.
Well done.
Letochonolo saying mostly on weekends. You know, weekends are the places where
Yeah.
I think saving should be even more focused on.
Because you feel like you've earned it, you deserve it, you know? Come on, you can have it.
You deserve your own cash and saving it for something else, you know. And there were so many other comments that came through. I want to try and get through as many as I can. Marlene saying, good morning, Express family. Not really was the answer to that particular question. And Tombi, every weekend. And then Tasnim saying, way too much. A few times a week.
A few times a week, that's
Yeah.
not good enough, my friend. You could be saving yourself 10 grand a month, yeah.
Exactly. Moving along, Clinty's saying daily it's cheaper to buy than to cook in the country we live in.
Oh,
And Talwando is saying, good morning, fam. I think 5 times in Gqeberha that came through. Zenobi also 4 times per month, usually every Friday.
Yeah. I get that. I also feel like on a weekend you want to kind of give yourself your just rewards. You worked hard. Just think about working harder for your money and what it would mean to you at the end of the year, even if it's just that $3.5 grand that you're saving because you're putting a little away and not spending it on something as frivolous as takeouts. That is really, really an unbelievable saving. So just think about where your money is going.
So, good question to ask yourself, and this is one that I want to echo in your mind. Where is my money going, and how can I get it back? Now, if you think you're spending too much money ordering in, then now would be a good time to evaluate your choices. There's nothing wrong with ordering the occasional pizza or burger, but by reducing a few orders a month, you could save yourself thousands by the end of the year and put that money somewhere more meaningful. And if you're hungry for some solid financial advice to help you save, manage your debt, or even find a greater financial advisor, then you can visit moneyedge.co.za. And of course, financial prosperity starts right there. So give it a shot. And if there's a lot of fast food in you at the moment, you know what you need,
man.
You need a bit of a workout. That's coming up shortly.
Work it out, baby.
The ultimate accessory. The latest shiny thing. Mesmerized. Trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
That's right, gentlemen, and thank you very much for that. And now that we are saving our money from buying takeouts, of course, now we can focus on eating healthier and working out. I got you, Mzansi. Let's kickstart this Monday, how we do it as usual. And who said that you need to be sitting down to work your core, right? So now we can reduce the biopsy. You simply standing up, right? From high knees to torso twists and side-to-side chops. There are so many effective exercises to help you get through that six-pack and the six-pack that you are after, especially when it comes to winter. Now, if you've been struggling to get rid of the extra belly fat, make sure to join us this morning for our Monday ab workout. And I'm joined by the beautiful, illustrious Zoe in the building.
Thank you.
Loving your colors today, of course. You've got some blues, you've got some purples, perfect for the season. And this workout's gonna be perfect for you guys at home, right? So it's 7 exercises in 7 minutes to get you not 6, but maybe 7 abdominal muscles. If you work hard enough, right? So we're gonna show you right now, Zoe and myself are gonna be standing for the entire session. What you can do is grab a pillow, a towel, a cloth, or anything else. This is our gym equipment apparatus for the day. Always coming through with the gym hack, so you don't need to go to the store. You can stay right at home. It's level 4, just like Cyril said, so you don't have to worry. I got you covered. Okay, straight into the business. Number 1, before we even get into the exercise, we want to work the core and activate it. All right, remember, it's almost as if someone's about to punch in your stomach, and you brace for that punch. You squeeze your stomach hard, but you still draw your navel towards your spine. All right, that is a good engaged core. Nice and solid while staying tall. Now we're going to use the pillow to keep extending our abs, making them stretch and then making them contract for every movement. Starting with the following. Nice and easy. We're going to do some high knee work and punch the pillow and the knee together. All right, so we're going to alternate each side. You guys are going to go for 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, moving straight over to the next exercise, 7 in total. Number 1, let's go now. So we're smashing that pillow. You can get nice and aggressive if you had a hectic weekend or you got some frustration on this Monday. Here's the perfect opportunity to get it all out. Zoe?
And it's so important to keep your core engaged because this is then where the lower back starts to get niggly if you didn't keep your core engaged.
Especially during winter when it's extra cold, you're going to feel those niggles come through. So an awesome opportunity here as well. Think of someone that you hate and take all your anger out on them this Monday morning. Yes! All right, moving over to exercise.
That's a lot of aggression for a Monday.
I'm here for the people, in case you got that aggression, right? Moving over to the side, same thing now. We got side obliques. So again, punching the pillow and your knee together, but raising your legs towards the side now. You're going to get some of those obliques going. That's those side abs. A lot of women call them Levi lines as well. I know they love it. It's perfect for the magazine muscle too. And of course, again with this one, raising the pillow all the way to the sky, stretching out the core, and then compressing as you bring your knees in. Now, we can step both of these exercises up, right? So that's considered a nice warm-up. What you can do, keeping the pillow in your hand now, repeating the same movements going forward and to the side, but with a kick, all right? So that's going to include that's going to include a little bit of mobility as well as our strength, all right? So the same thing, pillow in the hand, keeping the core engaged. I'm going to kick forward in front of me, all right? Big powerful kicks. And when you start getting into the rhythm, you're going to see your pillow starts to twist side to side. That's going to allow for some good rotational movement as well to further stimulate the core. Once you're done with this one, we're moving over to round number 4. All right, so 45 seconds on, 15 off, and then moving to the side. So kicking to the side, same thing. Boom, big, powerful kicks to the side. Again, you're going to feel those obliques. You might also feel those hip flexors starting to open up now. The groin as well, starting to do some things. How are you feeling over there, Zoe?
Feeling good. Of course, we didn't warm up this morning, but a warm-up is definitely recommended.
Yeah, definitely go for a warm-up. We're warming up as we go here, but before you do any exercise, at least 10 minutes of warm-up is always recommended. Perfect tip. Let's start getting aggro here. It's Monday. A lot of us got the aggression.
He's got the aggression.
I've got the aggression. I've taken it on for both of us. So we're going to raise your pillow high up into the sky, nice and tall, using your core, and then as hard, as fast as you can, throwing it down to the ground, really contracting that core, picking it up and repeating this movement. You want to smash it now. It's Hulk time. It's Monday. Get all that frustration out. Nobody is getting in your way this Monday morning. All those obstacles, that's your pillow right now. Chuck it down. Rise above and slay the week. Yeah.
This is actually such a fun exercise.
I see you did have aggression. I saw some of it come out. We all got it inside of us, guys. That's 6 exercises. The last one that you can do is simply raise the pillow above your head and go for a lot of high knees for 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, and booyah! That's a 7-minute, 7 exercise core workout on your Monday morning that you are gonna absolutely love.
And it's something you can do anywhere if you want to take a little break from your work at home desk, if you know, stuck in a line somewhere, you can do that. Maybe just not the pillow slam.
Wearing vests in the middle of winter, we warmed up, we charged, ready for Monday, and I think you are too. Happy Monday, Mzansi. I hope you enjoyed this one.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's for Men, enriched with triple glycerine for 48-hour moisture and no stickiness. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. We are back with our video creator extraordinaire, rugby coach Kutle Sonkosi is going to be taking us through what went down in the world of rugby this weekend. Quite a big weekend in rugby all across the board. The Bulls and Gekwas, they bounced back from their losses to record their first wins in a brand new Currie Cup campaign. And of course, the Border Ladies, they've now confirmed their place in the Women's Premier Division final up against the juggernaut that is Western Province. Kutle has all of the details, and finally, a bit of alone time. I just wanted you all to myself just for 5 minutes so I could feel that special...
Thank you so much, Kutle. How's it going, my friend?
Great to see you, obviously. I was almost stuck with Graham there. I was worried. I mean, you and I, Carla, built this, this trust between us, and thanks for coming back.
You're most welcome. It's all good. Don't worry about that. I'm so glad we can get the ratings up to normal again.
I cry my tears in my pillow at night, eh? I do. I really do. I'm not crying at the moment. I'm not, Cooks, because there is rugby. There is rugby on every field, in every part of the world. We absolutely love it, and we've got some fantastic Currie Cup rugby playing out here. Look, the Bulls bounced back from that, I'm going to say the Bulls B side. Is that an insult to the Bulls team that came out and beat the Cheetahs this weekend, made good after, I mean, the Pumas rather, this weekend in our first fixture? What do you make of this Bulls outfit and obviously post the whole Benetton saga? Where is this Bulls team at now?
I mean, obviously, well, the Bulls that they played against Western Province last week was more like the Chuck's Varsity Cup side. I mean, half the players were still in Italy, half of them were in Springbok. So I think they practice semi-strength, obviously, just minus the Springboks in camp. But I think the Bulls will be fine. I think obviously they're still getting over the Benetton disaster, hence the bad performance in the second half yesterday against the Pumas on Saturday, so I mean Friday night. So yeah, but otherwise I think the Bulls are still strong. I still think that they're the cream of the competition. I think they still decided to beat. I mean, especially in South Africa. So yeah, I think they'll be fine.
You got a feel for the Pumas. It was like this. It felt like through every phase of every kind of weird franchise competition we've had here, the Pumas have looked so good, and then they'll lose it in the final 15. They'll lose within 1 point, 2 point, 3 points. This Pumas side is a good side, and they've got massive arms as well. They're really, really big.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Pumas, they're very Spursy in terms of, like, obviously they put themselves in good positions to win, put themselves always in competitions, always do well. Every time they get to the promised land, unfortunately, they fail, you know. Time and time again, like you said, they look the part. Unfortunately, they just can't get the job done. I mean, I'm sure you understand a little bit something like that. I'm sure you get that.
Yeah, wow.
Pain.
Yeah, it's a lot of pain there, but it's okay. You know, I was actually telling Coach that on Friday it felt like Jake White came into the dressing room, almost like a dad coming down and saying, you know what, you guys, your results were poor in this report over here, because a lot of kids obviously wrapping up at school
potential.
This week. There's a lot of potential here, but you must start listening. Why? And that's what it felt like. And then they got the result.
And they did. Now, I think they're going to be difficult to beat. One result that might have surprised a lot of people out there this weekend, 31-10, the Griquas.
Sure.
And again, we've spoken about how close they can come, and the kind of the brand of rugby that they play is beautiful and free-flowing. I didn't expect that much of a dominance over the Cheetahs.
Yeah, me too. I mean, obviously, we know how tough it is to play against the Griquas in Kimberley. First of all, because no one wants to be in Kimberley, so obviously that's the first hurdle you gotta get over. So obviously, once you get over that hurdle, then they need to play rugby against them. So obviously, for the Griquas, was tough. I mean, the Cheetahs was tough, but great win for the Griquas, and I just hope they actually build on from these wins. They make it more consistent. They make it more, because if there was ever a time for them to make a semi-final run or final run in the Currie Cup, this is the season to do it.
I also enjoy the Griquas, the way they play. You were saying open, free-flowing. I almost feel like the coach is actually telling them, you know, express yourself on the park. You know,
did you say that in a Spanish accent? Sorry, you got that. Griquas.
No, I said the Griquas.
The Griquas.
Yes, so what I was saying, I don't know what he's talking about, but the Griquas, what they were doing is they were playing free-flowing, and I feel like, you know, the coach, he came there and said, you play your game, and you'll express yourself. That's what it felt like, by the way.
Around your ball.
See.
Well, 100%. I think the coach more said, like, listen, guys, I know it's Saturday night here in Kimberley. We have nothing else to do, so you might as well express yourself here, because you can't express yourself off the field. So you got to choose one. So either we do this or we go to the mall again. But I wish we did that last week. So yeah, that was the game plan.
And a worthy victory there. Let's get quickly into the Women's Premier Division. We were waiting to find out who was going to make it up against Western Province. The Border Ladies have done it. Do you see the Border Ladies being able to beat this Western Province team? Anyone, in fact, being able to beat this Western Province team? They are a juggernaut this season.
No, it's hard to pick it and to beat that side. I mean, the Western Province ladies started to be outstanding this season, and they've just come in and just dominated all the way through. So, I mean, happy for Border to get in the final, but I can't see them beating that juggernaut, which is the ladies Western Province side.
Well, buddy, I suppose a man who knows all about fluke victories and the biggest moments, taking inspiration from your team. Perhaps your choice of jersey this morning will work out for you in the long run. It's certainly, it's got a lot of people looking, my friend, and your face is so beautiful it needs to be looked at, man. We love you, dude. Thanks so much for sharing the joy.
Cheers, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Oh, my word. You know, this whole thing is working. I think we should just come back together and
I feel a little less like there was a
moment where we had a small bromance. It's over now.
Yeah,
we're moving on now. The bromance between
again.
us continues. Sorry, Coach. We have to continue this on the side. So a big thank you to Kutlis Nkosi for joining us via video call. Make sure to let us know which fixtures you enjoyed over the weekend, and you can be sharing your opinion live on your Feel Good Breakfast show this Friday.
Well, here's another thing we're going to be doing live on your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso, on this beautiful Monday morning. Yes, it's cold. I mean, 1, that's your low out in Bloemfontein. 1, that's your low out in Sutherland. 80% chance of rain out in Cape Town. That's telling. It tells you the type of food you want to be making, and we're answering exactly to that. And Clem is here in the kitchen with me to really just help us warm up and cozy up as far as our stomachs are concerned. Chef Clem, good morning.
How are you?
Oh, I am good. I am good. I am good. And I mean, this excites me what I'm seeing here. And I'll tell you why. Because it is a chilly day today, which makes it the perfect day for a steaming pot of hearty chicken soup. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Warm up those cold nights with Woolies chicken soup, maybe called mornings as well. And this chicken soup is a meal in its own right. Honestly, it is. And it's packed with loads of veggies. You're getting all of those in at the same time. And wait for it, semp. Yes, umngqusho. And beans.
And you don't have to soak it, you don't have to wait for hours for it.
What do you mean by that?
Look at this. I mean, it comes in a can, but it also comes in this amazing bag.
Semp and beans? In a bag?
Let me see, where am I at? Okay.
Semp
but can
and
you see?
beans in a bag?
Where am I? Okay, I'm there.
This honestly is where I say, hashtag secure the bag.
I'm telling you, Mrs. Woolworths has come through. I've had this twice in the past week. Yesterday in an oxtail soup.
Yeah.
It is life-changing. Because if you make something means you know how long it takes. You know. This is how we're going to get through winter, okay?
Well, this is how we're going to get through life, honestly, forget winter. But we've also got veggies, which are making a big sort of statement in this mix of our meal.
So what I've actually done, let's talk about the deal first. You get your chicken, or you get your beef shin, okay? You can kind of mix and match it.
Yeah.
Then you get your chicken stock, which is in liquid form like this.
Yeah.
Or you get it in the sachets. And you should be having those sachets at home already. It's a must.
So great, because all of these are such necessities, I think, during this season. They really are. But I think the fact that you can stretch these meals.
You can stretch these meals.
Really, really well.
Exactly. So, okay, so like I said, you get the chicken or the beef. You get this stock or you get the sachet stock.
Yeah.
You get the chunky veggies and you get your sam. All for under 185 Rand. And you are feeding the people. Okay, so let me tell you what I did. When at home, we're cooking for 2, right?
Yes.
Just my wife and I. So what I did was, actually divided my pack in half to make my chunky veggie soup.
Okay.
And the other half, I took some curry paste that I had, coconut milk, water, vegetable, curry, soup, done. The simplest ingredients.
People know that a soup isn't complicated to make, but there is something intimidating about making a vegetable curry soup, for example, which we're all seeing so many people get it wrong in terms of getting the flavors together. So today, hopefully, we can be inspired to bring that to life, but also show people how to bring the flavor element alive as well. And if you really want to cook along with this one, go on to the Woolworths website. It's woolworths.co.za. They've got the recipe there as well as all the ingredients. You're going to love it. You're going to have such a great time making it. So you're adding some salt into the vegetables.
You don't have to brown the vegetables. You don't have to brown the chicken. That's what I love about it. Put everything into the pot, turn the heat up. You don't have, when it's a soup like this, like a chicken soup.
Yeah.
Low and slow is perfect. You don't need to brown the chicken, but the salt is important. Also, another thing important is the fact that the veggies are chunky, okay? You don't want to spend hours chopping
but they've done like all the chopping for you. But it's not too fine, you know what it is.
And
you can see what's in the bag. And
you know exactly what you're getting. And the nice thing is they've done everything for you. All you kind of have to do when you're done is maybe serve this with some freshly chopped herbs.
And some, I just thought about it now, some garlic bread.
You know?
You know?
Oh, don't mention garlic bread around here if you are not making it.
But okay, but no, we're doing Samp. Instead of doing the garlic bread, we do the Samp. Okay? Carb on carb, carb on carb. It's winter, you're allowed to, aren't you?
You're allowed to do anything at this rate. It's also not just winter, it's level 4 lockdown. So actually do what you want.
And thinking about level 4 lockdown, I thought this is an absolutely great dish to make for a loved one. Okay?
Because people do need that huggy meal, right?
You can't do physical hugs. This is a hug.
This is a hug on its own.
I was going to say in a mug, but this is
you can
how
put it in a mug if you can.
Okay, chicken stock going in. Just to add, bump up the chicken flavor.
Oh yeah.
But also good for you. If you're not feeling really great, you don't have appetite. This microwave in a mug.
How many times have you had flu and then Megan, your wife, makes anything with that chicken stock, puts it all in, and you eat, and 20 minutes later, you are running around the yard like a cheetah being chased by an antelope.
You know, you're doing one of Raul's workouts and you're feeling amazing. 20 minutes after, chicken soup. Chicken soup, I'm telling you. Okay, garlic goes in because you must.
Garlic, important. Let's get back to all of those essential ingredients. We are bringing those back. Very important.
So you're going to bring this all to a simmer. Then the last thing you're going to add, because your samp's already cooked, your beans are already cooked. Get the samp and beans in there. And then you're done.
I can't believe the samp and beans come
in a bag. The samp and
#
beans!
secure the bag. I love that. Clem, this is fantastic. And that's what it looks like when it's all done. That is a meal fit for a king. Certainly a meal fit for a family that you love and that you care about. If you aren't able to hug people during this time, during this season, that on its own, really, as Clem said, is a hug and a bowl. If you want that recipe, go on to woolworths.co.za. And that's the difference. It's the Woolworths difference.
It's the Woolworths difference.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show on S3. And here we love to show, really start the show off on the right note with our inspiring Gospel Monday performances. And our performer this morning hails from Bellville in the Mother City, and she's an up-and-coming gospel artist. Cherie Peterser has always had a love and talent for singing and performing. And this morning, she's joining us to debut her brand new single called Shine for Gospel Monday. Welcome, Cherie.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel so honored.
It is really, I'm actually honored. I'm more honored than you are.
Actually, I feel like you must pinch me because this doesn't feel real.
Oh, really? It's just us, couple of friends chatting about everything, and I mean, we can't wait to hear you perform later.
Thank you.
Also hailing from Bellville, northern suburbs of Cape Town. Yeah. It's lovely. But I want to start off with your musical journey. Everybody's got a journey as well. Zoe and I, our musical journey has never started, so it's good to know where yours. Yeah, it's getting there, but where did yours start?
Yeah. So I've always loved singing. Always sang with my dad karaoke, but it was never something that I ever did professionally. Never got that vocal training, anything like that. I think that it was when I joined the worship team at my church. That's when things got a bit more serious in the music. And about a year later, I started writing my first song. And from that time up until now, I haven't stopped writing, and I'm definitely not putting the brakes on it anytime soon.
Well, you know what? There's a real special talent to the writing process.
True.
And of course, you've got the vocals to back that. I know, I think, you know, when all of these different lockdown levels get announced, myself and Wasty, we always say we feel for the restaurants and we feel for the music industry, we feel for the artists. How has this lockdown been for you? How have you remained positive? Have you been able to, you know, like, find that comfort within your church gospel group or the worship team?
Yeah, I think, look, when I'm writing songs, that's when I feel the most at ease.
Yeah.
And during the whole lockdown, that's when I wrote probably the most of my songs. And yes, like just meeting up with my worship team, and you know, we need that. I needed that to just be motivated throughout this time. So yeah,
Because we all have to like find our shine somewhere. You know, because sometimes no, I'm serious, because it doesn't matter where it is, because I think that no matter what the circumstances, you have to find your shine. There's going to be something that comes to you. If you have no time for the things that you're really passionate about, you know, the passion remains, but you have to have those moments. And the reason why I'm saying shine so often, because that's the name of the song that we're going to hear a little later, in case you haven't guessed by now. But so I wanted to ask about the track, the inspiration, the backing behind it. What does it all mean?
Yeah, so let me just firstly say that the song is completely different to any of my other songs.
Okay.
My previous songs are your slow worship songs, and this song, it's a more upbeat song.
Okay.
And
nice.
yeah, upbeat and very motivational. So the song is, it really speaks about going after your dreams, but being you while you are at it, because you are good enough. You see, I always, like, growing up, I was always never that confident person. I always found myself comparing the way I was to someone else, the way that I sang to someone else.
Yeah.
And I wrote the song so that people out there would know that it's time for you to step out of that comfort zone. It's time for you to just be you, because I feel that in this world also, one of our greatest accomplishments is being ourselves. And not trying to conform to everything else that's going on around us.
And I feel like a lot of people aren't confident enough to just be themselves. They might just surprise them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Cherie, you know what? We asked our viewers at home on our social media platforms to vote for a song that they would love for you to sing. Have you seen the songs that were up for voting?
Yes.
You have? Which one do you think that we're going to vote for? Okay, so as you can see on your screens right now, Cherie Peterson is obviously joining us this morning, and the song you have selected for Gospel Monday is In the Waiting. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I was very surprised, honestly. I was thinking that because, look, I wrote In the Waiting and I wrote Milk and Honey, but Like Oil was going to be a cover of a song that's done by We Will Worship. And just thinking that, okay, maybe more people would know Like Oil, and they would probably choose Like Oil. So I was quite surprised.
That's quite cool.
Quite surprised, yeah.
I think I know why, because, you know, we were all waiting for the family meeting, and we were all in the waiting to find out what happened. And that people started voting in the waiting.
Yeah.
That makes sense, though. But we cannot wait to see you shine on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso and S3. So, Cherie Peterson, you can take a bow already. She's going to be shining up the stage for you a little bit later, so make sure you stay right there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, team. It's just after 7 o'clock here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines. We start off with some national news. The Hawks have swooped on 2 suspects for dealing in rhino horns worth some 2.4 million rand. Hawks spokesperson Captain Tlangelani Rikotso said the suspects, aged 72 and 31, were arrested in Vryburg. They are due to appear in the Vryburg Magistrates Court today, and the pair was arrested during a buy and bust operation where they allegedly attempted to sell rhino horns. Both rhino horns were seized for further investigation. Staying in South Africa will now move to an adjusted level 4 for the next fortnight as the country is faced with a rising number of COVID-19 infections dominated by the more transmissible Delta variant. President Cyril Ramaphosa said last night he announced that all gatherings indoors and outdoors are prohibited. No social, religious or political gatherings are permitted. A curfew will be in place from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. with alcohol sales on-site or off-site and consumption prohibited altogether. School holidays will begin on Wednesday and people will not be allowed to travel in and out of Gauteng for leisure purposes. People who are in the province need to go home will be allowed to go home, and if you are from outside of the province and need to go home, you will still be allowed to enter the province. In international news, the U.S. government says it has no explanation for dozens of unidentified flying objects seen by military pilots. A Pentagon report just released says 144 reports of the ones that they received made about the phenomena since 2004. 143 lacked sufficient information in their data set to attribute incidents to specific explanations. It does not rule out the possibility that the objects are extraterrestrial, and most of the reported cases were in the last 2 years. The U.S. Congress insisted on the report after the U.S. military reported numerous instances of objects seen moving erratically in the sky. Meanwhile, rich countries are opening up societies and vaccinating young people who are not at great risk from COVID-19. While the poorest countries clearly lack doses, the World Health Organization has said, condemning a global failure. Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said the situation in Africa, where new infections and deaths spiraled by nearly 40% last week compared to the previous week, is extremely dangerous as the Delta variant spreads globally. Ghebreyesus, who is an Ethiopian, pledged with rich nations to give poor nations the vaccine. Up next, news from the world of entertainment. Celebs from the US and India will come together in July for a star-studded virtual event to buoy the people of India as they battle the COVID-19 crisis. Gloria Estefan, Sting, Andrea Bocelli and his son Matteo, Josh Groban, as well as Yo-Yo Ma, just a few of those slated to appear for vax.india.now. The event will also spotlight what's happening on the ground in India and educate viewers on how they can help save lives and make an impact in the region, which has been hard hit by the pandemic. Now, a second wave of the COVID-19 led to India breaking a global record with more than 400,000 cases in one day recently and more than 377,000 dead. Vax.india.now is the brainchild of Anuradha Palukuruti, who runs her own foundation out of New England that supports the promotion of Indian culture. Palukuruti and friends and family in India who contracted the virus, and some, of course, died. She knew that the only long-term solution was mass vaccinations, similar to the US, and more participants in the star-studded event will be announced later. That's where we leave it for now. The next update in just over an hour. Here's Graham with what's happening in sport.
Thanks so much, Tabby. So let's start with the good news. First, in cricket, the Proteas claiming a 16-run victory over West Indies at the National Cricket Stadium in St George's late last night. South Africa posted 166 for 7 in their 20 overs, and the Windies failing to reach their target, finishing on 150 for 9. South Africa now have levelled the 5-match series 1 apiece. And on Saturday, of course, the West Indies registered an impressive 8-wicket win over the Proteas in that first T20. The third T20 encounter will take place from 8 p.m. SA time tomorrow. On to rugby. The Bulls and Griquas both bounced back from opening round Currie Cup losses to record their first wins in the new campaign. So the defending champions, the Bulls, they beat the Pumas 32-27 at Loftus on Friday, and the Griquas showed their class to beat the Cheetahs 31-10 in Kimberley. Currie Cup action will continue on Wednesday, and the Cheetahs welcome the Bulls to Bloem before the coastal derby between Western Province and the Sharks down in Cape Town. Then staying with rugby, Border women have confirmed confirmed their place in the Women's Premier Division final, where they will go head-to-head with defending champions and log leaders, definitely the former outfit this whole season, Western Province. Border claiming a 38-10 victory over the Sharks women to set up that final meeting with Western Province. In other results, the women from Cape Town, they thrashed the EP Queens 41-15 to remain unbeaten in the competition. And the Boland Dames, they beat the Blue Bulls women 21-0 in Pretoria on Friday. Then on to continental football. Kaizer Chiefs have booked their spot in the CAF Champions League final after a goalless draw against Moroccan team Virat Casablanca at the FNB Stadium on Saturday. The Amakosi advancing on a 1-0 aggregate and will now face reigning African champs Al Ahly on the 17th of July. This is the first time the Soweto Giants have advanced to the final in the club's history. Then staying with footballing news, Belgium stunned reigning European champions Portugal 1-0 in Seville last night to secure their spot in the Euro 2020 quarter-finals, where they will meet Italy. So Belgium, along with the Czech Republic, Italy and Denmark, have all advanced to that last 8. The round of 16 results saw Denmark thrash Wales 4-0, Italy beating Austria 2-1, and then the Czech Republic beating the Netherlands. And they were down to 10 men, in fact, but 2-0 was the final score there to advance. Then there'll be 2 Euro 2020 fixtures today as Croatia take on Spain at 6 p.m. And then in the late game, the world champions France will be up against Switzerland at 9 p.m. Then finally on to motorsport. Red Bull's Max Verstappen, he extended his lead at the top of the drivers' standings after winning the Styrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring yesterday. 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton, he finished in 2nd place, and his Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas, he rounded off the podium positions in 3rd. Well, that's where we leave the sport for now. We'll touch on those again just after 8 o'clock. Right now, though, let's see what the crazy weather has in store for us across the land.
Thanks a lot, G. And I can tell you the crazy weather is all over the world at the moment. Let's start you off. A sweltering heat wave has hit large parts of the U.S. Pacific Northwest and Canada, sending records tumbling. The U.S. National Weather Service has issued excessive heat warnings and watches across nearly all of Washington and Oregon states, with temperatures up to 40 degrees Celsius. Parts of California and Idaho are also affected. Multnomah County in Oregon has warned of life-threatening heat of 46 degrees Celsius, and some cities have even open up cooling centers where residents can escape the heat in air-conditioned buildings. The soaring temperatures are due to a dome of high pressure hovering over the northwestern U.S. and Canada. Experts say climate change is expected to increase the frequency of extreme weather events, such as heat waves. As the climate changes, there could also be an increase in the number of deaths from floods, storms, and heat waves, experts say. Now, keeping the weather update within the general region, our international city that we are highlighting for your 7 a.m. weather report is Portland, Oregon. It is a major port in the region of the Pacific Northwest, as well as being the largest and most populous city in the state of Oregon. The water access provided convenient transportation of goods, and the timber industry was a major force in the city's early economy. At the turn of the 20th century, the easy access of the port had also resulted in the development of the reputation of being one of the most dangerous port cities in the world, a hub for organized crime and racketeering. As mentioned at the top of this bulletin, excessive heat warnings have been issued for these areas. Portland can expect temperatures in excess of, hear this, 47 degrees Celsius. There are dangers of dehydration, heat stroke, and other heat-related illnesses. Do stay out of the sun and try your best to keep hydrated. A little message from South Africa to you, Oregon. Now, bringing it back to the South African borders, it is time to show some of your stunning sunrise submissions we have received. Inati Charles from East London, thank you to you. Inati shared this beautiful view of the pink sky in his region. Regular contributor Nancy Governor, good morning to you from Pennington, KZN, shared yet another stunning photo showing off the sun rising over the ocean in her area. Now, if you'd like to be part of our weather segment, it is really simple. Just head on over to the Expresso Facebook page to share your sunrise views with us and your location, so you could be featured and, of course, get a little temperature update from the Expresso team. Now, looking at those temperature updates across the country, and starting off, as always, Polokwane, Goeiemorgen, 8 is your low, rising to 24. Bombela, surprisingly hot today, 33 degrees Celsius from a low of 14. And Pretoria, 11 to 22. Johannesburg, you can expect 10 this morning, rising steadily to 20. Mahikeng, 8 to 26. Klerksdorp, 6 to 25. Kimberley, 3 to 24. Bloemfontein, just just one you start off with, rising to 22. Richards Bay, a hot day for you, 31 degrees Celsius from a low of 19. Pietermaritzburg, you can expect 8 to 29. Durban, also quite warm, 29 the max from a minimum of 16. Mthatha, 5 to 28. East London, 11 to 28 for you. Cradock, 3 to 23. Gqeberha, 11 to 22. George, you can expect 8 rising to 18, a 30% chance of rain in your area. Cape Town, it's already raining, but the weather predictors say 80% chance. 9 to 14 are your temperatures. Worcester, 11 to 15. Sutherland, 1 to 11. And Uppington, 6 rising to 23 degrees Celsius. If you are in the southern region of the country, I want to just say be as safe as you can on those roads, and please practice safe following distance if you are using them, and keep those headlights on as well. We want to keep everybody as safe as possible. Another update for you in about 1 hour's time, and if you have any Expresso sunrise photos to send us, just get onto the Facebook page and post away.
So having a little bit of fun this morning. If your life was a book, what would that book be titled? Did you come up with one?
Carl came up with one for me. It was like the Royal High Club. Which I
get that. I've always thought mine would be. I thought mine would be like blissfully unaware, like just going through life with all of these crazy things happening. But now I think it would have some father somewhere in there.
Let's see what Mzansi says. We got Kuna Mapuma says, "Good morning, Expresso Show. Dream Chaser.
I like that.
Catching all my goals." I love that. I love that one. Love it, yes.
And Francis Matema saying life experiences never end.
Oh,
nice.
It's like a little travel show or something. Like travel book. That would be cool. Lorna Fortune says, "Good morning. It would be Lockdown Delta."
It's quite intense, but I get that, man. I get that. Leslona Nolo saying mine will be called The Daylight Happiness. You guys are creative.
That guys are pretty good with this. We've got
man.
Vincent Muzi saying, "Good morning, Expresso team. Have a blessed Monday." I'll say cool and understandable. Oh,
I'm understandable.
Man.
You can, at the very least, you can understand. I'm understandable. I love that, man. If your life was a book, what would it be? There, check. Hey, life, God. That would be your...
Thinker of things.
Thank you. Absolutely love it. Have a little bit of fun with it this morning. What 2 words, 3 words would encapsulate you as the title of the book that is your life? We'd love to hear from you, Expresso Morning Show Facebook page.
With every cup, we cultivate some of the finest coffee in the world, celebrating farmers as artists, elevating every coffee moment, because with every cup, precious coffee preserves the beauty of our world. Nespresso, what else?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. It's Monday morning. We are live right now, and we're about to dive into a conversation with absolute gem. Now, when we were last graced by the presence of Miss SA 2019 Sasha Laurel in the Expresso studio, she was reflecting on the impending closure of her reign and what the future could behold. Now, she has since handed the crown over and is proving that we have much more to see from upstanding role models like herself, and we are here to firstly welcome her to our studio. Let's give her a big round of applause to Sasha Laurel. Oh, it's so good having you live in the flesh, in the presence. I can feel all the magic oozing off of you. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me, and great to finally meet you guys.
Yes, yes, you know what? You follow people on social media, but you finally get to connect when it's an interview on Expresso, which is always great.
Is this like a fangirl moment? Can I say that?
You having a fangirl moment.
Yes.
I'm also having that moment with you guys, so it's okay. We had an equilibrium.
All my life, I've been a big fan of the Miss South Africa pageants. I've watched it year after year, but I wanted to know from you, what was it like? Because this was quite a unique one that has just gone past, where you had to hand over your crown. It was during the pandemic, but at least the show still went on. What was it like for you to be part of that?
Wow, I think it was, you just learned the power of surrender. You know, it was one of those moments where I had to take like a great step back, but in that, South Africa took this great leap forward because we saw the power of, you know, leadership without a title. So many active citizens on the ground, you know, making the changes that we wanted to see. So I think it was one of those moments where, as much as I would have loved to be on the ground, because I feel like I get recharged by people, you know, it was one of those moments where we had to be agile and we had to adapt. So it was very much digitally orientated, but we had to adapt. Yeah.
And in such a crazy world that's ever changing, I love how you say that we kind of need to just surrender yourself to the certain things we can't control and what we can. And one of the things that I'm so curious to see is now seeing the perspective of pre, during and post your reign. I mean, obviously life has just been like this massive roller coaster. Yeah. What has it been like, obviously, during your reign and now post the reign, just your everyday life? Has there been a dramatic change, or has it kind of set you up for what every day is now for you?
Yeah, I think, you know, every day kind of relies on you and what your command is for the day. So I think it's important for us to realize the power we have over our lives, regardless of the changes that will inevitably come. I think it's been, the one thing that has remained the same though is I still do Zoom from like up here, like everyone else. I still,
you got the pajama pants on?
Keep it casual.
I still keep it casual at the bottom, but I think
it's called efficiency. That's what it is.
You know, you just
you have to roll with the times.
You have to roll with the times. So that's still very much there, but I think now it's very much on all hands on deck. We can be more involved. We can get more involved with what we are doing next. You know, it's just so important that I can now actually be on the ground. It was something that I was lacking, obviously, during my reign, and I'm just so happy to just be here now.
Well, let's speak about that, because, you know, part of the Miss South Africa umbrella, there's this different platform where you work on different causes. What is it like now that you finally get to be on the ground, you get to work on causes close to your heart? What's that like been for you?
I love agency. I love doing things on my own terms. And as much as I can appreciate what being Miss South Africa was like and having that, you know, arsenal of individuals, because it was a team, you know, it was a machine. There were systems in place. But I think one of the things with me is that it's a blessing and a curse. I'm pretty impulsive. Okay. So I think it was 3 days before Valentine's. I was like, you know what? Actually, let's do something for the frontline workers, because it's Valentine's Day. Let's show love. You know, it's 3 days before. We can do this, South Africa, like, you know, just Instagram. And one of those things I would have never been able to do in Miss South Africa, because there would have been a process, but I can do that online. And I mean, hey, I had 50 Valentines, you know, 50 frontline workers. That's pretty normal.
That's very special.
Now, look, speaking of these incredible causes, and I mean, you've definitely lent your voice to so many causes. I mean, talking about anti-GBV, we're talking about body positivity. You've been at the forefront and using your gifts for such a beautiful cause. Where to next? I mean, you just mentioned this one as well. Where else can we potentially see your beautiful, that Sasha energy in the rest of the world? What do you got planned for the upcoming months?
Well, I think I'm more at home when I'm teacher Sasha Lee. That is the best title I've ever had. You know, my kids, they love me. They don't say it on Mondays, though. No. I don't see it in their faces on Mondays when they, you know, trying to get into class. But they really do. And I think that, you know, as you mentioned, being you know, one of those faces for so many causes, or voice for so many causes, rather. I think there's solidarity when it comes to issues like this that we as adults face. It's so important. We can get through those things through solidarity. But kids need superheroes. So you need those people to look up to. You need those people to champion them and their causes and the injustices they're facing. So I think it's more child protection that I'm going into, and I think that would be where I'm more at home.
I think it's such a just cause, and I got to comment on this, especially in the world we're living in right now.
Yeah.
Those are full-time jobs on their own. Now having a full-time job in a world that is just chaotically all over the show, announcements come in every week, you don't know what to do. I implore that and encourage that, because I think you're investing in our absolute future, which is just great. So thank you for that. I love that.
I know. And, you know, I actually just wanted to ask you, as teacher Sasha, former Miss SA, we're wrapping up Youth Month this week, and is there a special message you would love to leave the youth with, especially when you are focusing on their safety, if that's something that's close to your heart?
You know, it's never too late to be who you want to be. And I think, you know, I say this, it's one of the most, it was one of the most impactful words I've ever heard. You are the oldest you've ever been. And sometimes, you know, we use today's wisdom to kind of reflect on what we've done in the past. And it's just important to understand that we only know what we know today, and we can't really, you know, be so hard on ourselves. Yeah.
I love that. Well, Sasha, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And of course, we will be chatting to her a little bit later, but do follow her on social media. It is at Sasha Lee Laurel. You want to keep up with her, you want to support her, and she's not going anywhere. She's still going to hang out with us on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
That is great news. So, Cape Town-based singer and songwriter Cherie Peterson is ready for her Gospel Monday performance this morning. And her original track, Milk and Honey, is a reminder to those who have accepted Jesus in their lives that they have entered a place God has prepared for them. And it also serves to encourage others to commit their lives to the Almighty. So please welcome, accompanied by Herschel Sheldon. And this song was number 2 on our poll. You wanted this one at Cherie Peterson. Do enjoy. It's Milk and Honey.
I've come to rest in the promised land where living waters flow. Abundant life in the promised land. A new life has begun. Life everlasting. Your love is unending. Milk and honey, a place you prepared for me, a place where your light will shine, a place called home. Milk and honey, a place you prepared for me, a place where your light will shine, a place called home. No more tears, no more fears, no more worries I'll feel. No more tears, no more fears, just your love. No more tears, no more fears, no more worries I'll feel. No more tears, no more fears, just your love. Milk and honey, a place you prepared for me, a place where your light will shine, a place called home. Milk and honey, a place you prepared for me, a place where your light will shine, a tears, no more fears, no more worries I'll feel. No more tears, no more fears, just your love.
Yeah! Yes! Yes! Yes and yes. Well done. Cherie Peterson will be on your Feel Good Breakfast show a little later with some more. I know you want, as well as Herschel Sheldon on the keys. He was absolutely sensational. Also coming up, we do more about our Play Your Part ambassador in studio. So stay right there. It's your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso here in S3. You're amazing.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's Tissue Oil Enriched Body Care range for 48-hour rich moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Ah, you gorgeous people. Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. We're live here on S3 and we're back with Miss South Africa 2019, the Queen, Sasha Laurel, who recently announced the launch of her new campaign as part of her work as the ambassador for Brand South Africa. It's called Play Your Part. Hashtag Play Your Part. Great initiative. And through the new Ed for All program in partnership with the Regenesis Foundation, Sasha is helping improve access to higher education for those who can't afford it. How important is that? Very important. She's about to share more about it and all that you can do to be a part of it. Sasha, so good to see you.
I feel like, again, a bit of a third wheel here, like you guys shared a cooking moment.
And you went there.
I wasn't there.
But of course, Sasha, good morning again. You went to sort of excited to see me this morning following our last cooking.
You had one job, to make me look good. And you didn't. I don't know if it's a forgivable... Is it?
It's not. It's not. But we'll try. We'll try and redeem ourselves right now.
Through this conversation.
Because it is really worth... I think hours talking about this because it is so vitally important now. We talk about kind of developing the critical skills to carry the country forward. Unless people are going to kind of put their foot down and actually grant access to the right people. And we know so many young people are struggling with the level of unemployment, the lack of accessibility to get into higher education. Obviously, this ties in really well with the brand South Africa, the idea of you would have lived that brand and you would have become that brand during your reign. But you've now chosen to continue that ambassadorship. What does Play Your Part, what does that initiative mean to you, and why has this become such a fundamental pillar for you?
I've always said this, you know, leadership isn't about the title. It's about the responsibility you have to serve.
Sure.
You know, it's about living that life of service and how critical it is to be an active citizen. And I think Anele said it so well, you know, you don't need to be in government to govern.
Yeah.
So everyone could make a difference. And we saw that last year because everyone was really just playing their part.
And then you've got this partnership which really does step in to answer to that particular need. You partnered with the Regenesis Foundation, of course, through Ed for All, are going to be helping give people that access to education, higher education. How is that going to happen? How's it going to roll out? Tell us more about that.
Okay, awesome. I think it's so important to kind of start with why. Because everybody is saying, you know, do we really need to invest in education? Is it important? And I think it is, because we have to look at the current need rate. So the need rate is the people who are not in education and not in training. And that sits just above 40%. So to have that rate above 40% is very dangerous because we have 65% of our populace who are accounting for the youth, the millennials, the Gen Zs, and that is people under the age of 35. So for people to be under the age of 35 and 40% of them, just above 40% of them not having education, not having any training, it is a dangerous place to play because that is our future. That is our future. And I think, you know, with regards to this program, it's not only about creating access to education, it's all about the success of it because it's so multifaceted.
See it
because
through,
you know, we in this multifaceted war as youth because there's many things that we're facing. You know, the opportunity cost of being in school and furthering your education is the opportunity for you to be buying bread because you have to see to your family. So what it intends to do is it's an online platform where you will have access to education for 500 Rand a month, right? You'll obtain an internationally recognized qualification because the business school is based in South Africa, India, Croatia, and Nigeria. But you will have the power to, you know, do your classes when you have the time to. You won't do an ITC check, which is really important given COVID.
Yes,
you know?
and a lot of people are falling through as a result.
Yes, so we haven't had opportunity to pay our bills, so I think that is so important that we are able to give them that access without registration fees and without textbook fees and transport costs.
Just give them that breather, just that little gap to be able to get ahead in life. I would imagine I've worked in the Miss SA fold for many years as a young guy and got to see how empowering it was for those of you that got to really kind of, and it's up to you to make sure that you're utilizing that platform. But you also get approached by about 1,000 different organizations. And why this? Why did higher education in this specific lane and focusing on young people strike such a chord with you?
You know, you have to take a step back in certain things because not all the time is it about the money because there are a multitude of brands that step forward and want to use your face for something. But I've always been the person who wants to do something meaningful. And I remember how difficult it was in Fees Must Fall because I was there at university at that particular time. It was 2015 and the things we went through, it was stuff our, you know, the older generation spoke to us about. It was tear gas, it was rubber bullets, and it was us trying to fight for education.
We shouldn't have to fight for education, not in our country especially. Well, let's talk about getting people involved and getting people into this particular system. How can people apply?
Okay.
And how do they qualify?
How do they qualify? So I think the most important thing to mention here is everyone thinks, you know, you have to be earning under a certain amount to be financially disadvantaged. And that's not really the case because some of us are not as liquid as we would like to be because, you know, we may have a couple of assets, but we don't really have, you know, the means to get into
Certainly not after this last year.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter how much they earn. It's just a minor asset test liquidity ratio that we do. And they just find the forms on my Instagram page.
That's at Sasha Lee Laurel, and you can find her on Instagram. I'm so sorry, we're going to put you back in the kitchen.
Yes, I'm sorry.
We have to do it because she can do it. We know she can do anything.
Redeem yourself.
We might keep him out of the kitchen, though, just to give you the best possible opportunity. So you're a superstar. Thank you so much for spreading the word. We're going to keep all of those details out on all of our social media platforms. But as I said, go to at Sasha Lee Laurel right now to get all of the information on how you could enroll today and possibly change your life forever.
Oh, well, listen, we're hoping this will be a happy Monday for everyone, and we hope you had a brilliant weekend. But did you know that the Fast and the Furious 9 raced to the #1 spot at the SA box office with true big screen power? Now, what better way to start the week than by winning an amazing prize?
Yeah, all those F9 fans are here for it. So on Friday, we gave you the chance to win yourself a set of double new Metro Extreme movie tickets to see Fast and Furious 9. Now, the Fast Saga, plus 2 regular sodas and popcorn combos and an exclusive limited edition F9 headset. And that lucky winner is about to be announced right now. Are you ready,
Can we get
people?
a drum roll, please?
That winner is Woo! Yes, man! done.
That is amazing. Now, we've asked you to tell us what you love most about New Metro's Extreme Cinemas, and you said, this is what Roland said, we love #New Metro Extreme Cinemas for its cleanliness, comfortable yet elegantly styled chairs, awesome screens, sounds, and most of all, the friendly and helpful staff. There we go.
Oh, well,
now,
it looks like we got him on the line. Roland, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Expresso. How are you guys? Thank you. This is an awesome opportunity.
Oh, I'm so glad we could
Thank you very much, Expresso.
I'm so glad we can put such a big smile on your face on this Monday. You're just making us smile as well. But the excitement is obviously so real. How big of a Fast and Furious fan are you, man?
I am the huge Fast and Furious fan. I think I'm the #1 fan in the world.
Oh, wow. And who's going to be your +1? Because obviously you won 2 tickets.
Yeah, so it's my nephew, and he is, I think, the second biggest fan next to me. So definitely the two of us are going to really enjoy this.
Oh, that's going to be a fun day out.
That is so awesome. Let's talk about the hits as well that you're on, man. So how do you think this is going to obviously change your life, change the way you move forward? I mean, it's a really stellar set that you got here.
Oh, wow. You know, I've done the reviews on it, and I just can't wait. I'm so excited for it. So, yeah, I can't wait until it comes here.
Well, that is amazing.
so
Roland,
awesome.
you and your cousin, you guys should definitely enjoy seeing Fast and the Furious, the Fast saga at New Metros, and congratulations on winning.
Thank you, Expresso. Thank you, New Metro.
There we go.
We'll see you at the movies, yeah?
Yeah, we'll definitely see you at the movies. And please stay safe. You can visit newmetro.co.za or you can call 0861 Cinema for any queries.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here at S3. We are live, and Yusuf Daniels. Remember the name. It's a name that you need to add on Facebook right now. He is the author of Living Coloured, an autobiography released in June 2019. Within 3 months of release, the book became a bestseller in South Africa. Fast forward to 2020 July. Yusuf released another book titled Living Lekker. And just recently in 2021 has released his third book, titled Living the Hustle, which is sure to be a hit. And Raul and I, you were saying earlier, what's it, Dala?
Dala?
What you must. I did just that. You know, they weren't giving the book out for free.
Oh, yeah?
So,
oh, yeah? Oh, man, you don't waste time, eh?
I don't know, somebody left it there.
Is it just happened to pick it up?
That happened, yes. And the thing is, if you want this book, Living the Hustle, you must Dala what you must and get the book. So now it's mine. That's
ladies and gentlemen, Yusuf Daniels.
Yusuf!
Yes! Brother, it's always good seeing you. I feel like I'm just like chilling with a friend of mine, a cousin, an uncle, reading your books. You've made me feel like you literally are a family member. Talking about things like Kenichi in that Living Colored book. You just gave me such nostalgia. But, I mean, it's the third one already. What's up with you? Aren't you a comedian or something else like that? What happened with it? What's going on here?
No, just before we get going there, you said uncle. I'm not the uncle part. I was not involved with your auntie, firstly. So, cousin is all right. I'm good with cousin.
How do we know?
Dollar what you must.
Dala. It's actually Dala.
Dala, yeah.
But on a serious note, man, honestly, how has this come about? And talk to me about this new book. The first two were absolutely incredible. It happened to just, bam, just become a bestseller almost overnight. What can we expect from this third edition, man?
So you know why this happened is, listen, I give people what they want. I'm that guy. I'm a very free giving soul. So people said, Yusuf, oh my gosh, I read the second book in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can't wait for another book. You need to write another one. I said, guys, okay, listen, I aim to please. Here's your next book. And I started writing the third book. And it was in a period where it was a little bit difficult because my mom passed away.
Yeah.
So I stopped writing. But after that, I thought, no, man, you know what? I need a bit of laughter and fun, and people need a bit of laughter and fun. I thought to myself, right, come, Dala what you must right now. And that's where we are right now.
The best way to fill up your cup. I absolutely love that.
Absolutely. Yes, don't forget Dala. If you want to. It's up to you, that's the thing. So here's the book, Living the Hustle, Dala What You Must. I think this is such a, it speaks to so many different things, you know, it speaks to just going and making it happen. So if I look at these titles of the books, you know, give me a little background as to how you titled these. You know, how do you sit and you're thinking, right, living, lekker. Are you living? Lekker. Let's make a book.
That's
Is
the
it
title.
like that?
The one I wanted to say living holle, but there's apparently I can't say holle, so I took that one out.
Yeah.
So I said, no, I was told I was not, so I took that one out. So I said living lekker. It's just got a nicer ring to it, a safer ring to it. So it's actually not that difficult, Carl. The title of the second book, my daughter and I were driving in the car.
Yeah.
And we said, Tamina, right, let's come up with something. They said, how are you feeling? I said, no, I'm feeling lekker. I said, right, boom, that's the title.
There we go.
That's simple. You don't overthink things. Why must we overthink things?
So how did the third one come about then?
Living the hustle.
Okay.
You know what, the third one, I said to myself, you know what, we're in tough times right now, COVID times.
Yeah.
Everybody is hustling right now.
Yes. True.
And you know what, guys, I was probably one of the top hustlers in the community. Yeah, I said it, I am. I've lived a life of hustle.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, let's inspire people right now. That is basically like the Cape Flats guide to how to hustle.
Oh, okay. Oh, well,
it's crazy laughter. And no, I can't say that other word is all right.
So, you know, let's go into a more colloquial study as to what...
These days?
I'm just letting you know, because I mean, Dala what you must, I mean, you must, you know.
Yes.
You know if you know. But if you don't know, can you explain for those who don't know,
the rest of
for those in the back, what Dala what you must
right. If you don't know hearties...
Hearty pop.
Suntu. This is how we roll over here. If you come from Pinelands High and Bishop, sorry guys, this is not that book. No, I'm joking. Dalas do. You have to do what you have to do to survive, to put food on that table. I have 3 dragons over there. The dragons would free.
That's his family, by the way, if you were to...
Consume.
They need to eat. You know what I mean? So you need to hustle, bruh.
I love that.
I say wake up, dress up, and hustle.
You do you, boo. That's what it says. Look, so I gotta say, man, I love what you're writing. I love how you put your soul, your essence, the raw, unique version of you into this. It seems unfiltered. Who are you actually writing this for? Who are you wanting to connect with? What's the end goal in all of this? Apart from, obviously, filling up the cup full of laughter, love, and hears.
Yeah.
You know what? Like I said, I have a vision now. I know why I'm here. Definitely, I found my calling. There's been such a lack of writers coming out of our community. Let's be honest now.
100%.
Understand?
Yeah.
So I said to myself, you know, I saw this gap, and I said to myself, you know what? I need to take these stories into schools. So I'm into the high schools now. I'm doing workshops at the high schools now.
Great.
And I did a few, and these kids took to it. And then I said to myself, well, let me take it into the community. I did some community workshops. And there's a couple of people now writing books, and they have started writing. And I always say, you know what? Everybody has a unique story. Why die with it? Go tell your story. If you can help someone with your story in a positive way, somewhere, somehow, job done. And so I write it for for everybody, really. And it's not just the colored community. Yeah, okay, I love you too, but okay. It's for everybody, these books now, you know what I mean? It's fun, it's laughter. The last book, though, I go very, very deep, a little bit deep, not very, a little bit deep on this one, and it's very personal. So people are going to say, hey, yo, Yusuf, really, het met jou gebeur alweer. Yeah, but listen here, it is what it is. I am who I am, and just be yourself. Guys, the other person's taken already. Be yourself, and I promise you, you will see the best of you.
Oh, my goodness. You see, inspirational.
Gems. Yeah.
That's what we have here with Yusuf Daniels in studio, and I can tell you this man is going to inspire you even more. We've got another little chat with him a little later. For now, what we do need to do is dial what we must and give you some date here in your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Honger?
Made with love by Clover.
Well, from Dala to Dite, we're keeping it classic and classy in the kitchen today because I'm with a Miss SA, Sasha Lee, from 2019. She's in the kitchen with me, and she's here to redeem herself because I believe the last time you were in the kitchen with Tabiso, it was a hot mess.
You know, he had one job.
He had one job
to make me look good, and he didn't do.
Well, I'm the perfect wing lady. I'm here to make you look excellent because we're going to make this classic family dinner recipe that is for everyone. It is meatloaf, but we also got some secrets on how to make it extra flavoursome and delicious with a quintessential secret, which of course is our Clover fresh milk. So Sasha, if you don't mind, you can start off by throwing a cup of our Clover fresh milk into our bread, and this is really a great way to really just keep our meatloaf moist and keep it nice and together. And with Clover fresh milk, you get superior quality with every litre to help you give your family nothing but the best. And soaking the bread in Clover fresh milk will also prevent your meatloaf from drying out, like I mentioned. And Clover fresh milk is also nutritious, so you are getting the good balanced nutrients in your meatloaf. There we go.
Just making sure.
We'll just make sure it's there. If we need to add more milk, we can go beyond the extra cup.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I would add a little bit more milk. I feel like the more Clover fresh, the better. There we go. Now, how often is something like meatloaf that you make? I'll be honest, I've never made it.
I have never really made it, and I think it's something that is very American, as you said earlier. It's not something that I've made before, but I'm excited to make it. So it's our first time.
This is teamwork.
It's our first
we
time.
planned the outfits, the hair. We are matching for this recipe. So I'm going to start off here. We've got some tomato sauce, and I'm going to add a little bit of tomato paste. We're going to add some Worcester sauce. Got that in there. I'm going to add some onion powder as well as garlic powder, a little bit of sugar, brown sugar, and this is for the basting of our meatloaf. Some sugar is being added as well as some apple cider vinegar. Then I'm going to stir that up and then add some salt and pepper for taste. There we go. So I'm busy with this. You're going to get cracking on our actual
cracking on here.
There we go.
So I'm going to add in here 2 eggs. Now I like to make a well in the middle of it, just so that it mixes a little bit better. So it's 2 eggs, 2 whole eggs. Some Worcester sauce. I'll never attempt to say the whole name of this thing because I'm a good speaker, but I can't.
I think everyone struggles to pronounce that.
Then we have some chutney.
There we go. Oh, and there's just something about chutney. Like, I don't think foreigners understand how that is such a South African delicacy.
Exactly, and it makes everything taste a lot better.
Yes.
And this is some tomato paste.
There we go.
We've got some parsley here. And some salt and pepper. And obviously some braised onions.
There we go. And it's also got a little bit of garlic in it already, and that we're going to add. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to add our milk. Our milk-soaked bread.
Milk-soaked bread, okay.
Yes, but we don't want to add our milk with it, just the actual bread. So I'm going to add that in. It's nice and soft.
Awesome.
And this is, of course, going to give us the moisture that we want. So I have to admit, I feel like meatloaf, especially when it comes to the mixing, you're doing it very nicely with the wooden spoon there.
Very gracefully, you know?
Yes, because you are, you know, Miss South Africa.
Very on
very
brand.
Elegant, there we go. But I think at home, a lot of the mamas would actually just use their fists and their hands to really get in there and get the meatloaf
I'm not
all
going to
mixed together. Let's see how you do.
You know, I feel like you're obviously putting me on the spot here, but I'm
No,
just
but you're doing well. It's working with the spoon.
It's working with the spoon.
But if you want to get in there, you can.
I can totally get in there. But I feel like we have to be COVID conscious.
True.
You know?
True.
It's not me avoiding it at all. Like, I would never do something like that.
There we go. Okay, so the beauty of this recipe is once we've got our, our meatloaf, the meat all mixed well, which Sasha's busy doing so good, you add it to a little grease tin. This will really just give us the shape. We'll flip it out, and then that's when we pop it into the oven.
Okay, cool.
There we go. That looks good.
Do you think it looks good?
That looks good. You can add it to our little tin that's prepared. And of course, we do have this recipe with all of the steps available for you. It's on our website. You can get it on expressoshow.com. And there we go. Can I help you?
I'm just going to use a spatula.
There we go.
And hopefully this
You need
works.
like arm strength for this, right? There we go.
You couldn't have skipped arm day, obviously.
No. Making a meatloaf, I'll help you then.
There we go. I'm just trying to like position it so it doesn't fall.
There we go. We want it in our meat tin. There we go.
Cool.
And we can compress it in. Of course, at home, you will mix it a little bit more, get in there with your hands, but we want to stay COVID friendly. You did excellent. There we go. So we've got the shape going. We're going to flip it out onto our pan and then pop it into the oven. And that will go into the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. There we go.
There we go.
I'm proud of ourselves. We did good.
We did well.
We did really well.
We should like start our own cooking show. Like this is actually pretty
We should start our own cooking show because you know the magic of cooking on TV is we get to walk over here
and we
can present
pretend
our
like we
beautiful
put it in.
meatloaf with yellow rice. There we go. This is delicious. I feel like we need to tuck in, but if you've missed any of the steps to this amazing recipe, it is available on expressoshow.com, and we've got a quick recap for you. There we go.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. It's the live right here on S3 opening up on Expresso. And we're joined in studio by the self-published and best-selling author. It's Yusuf Daniels in the building. And we're talking about his latest book release. It's called Living the Hustle. Now, he's an author, but also, believe it or not, a father to 3 full-time jobs. Yes, that's 3 children, or dragons, as he calls them. And they are joining us on the couch this morning. The dragons, welcome.
Welcome,
so
dragons.
Firstly, these are some beautiful dragons. Where did you get them from? I'm not seeing.
You're not feeling this dragon thing?
Yeah, man.
So looks can be very deceiving.
Okay.
Yeah. They actually very diamaka.
Okay.
Hence the word dragon. That's...
Look, let me get straight into it and speak to the family. Dario, I believe, obviously, your dad has done some incredible things. Have you, I'm going to put you on the spot here, have you actually even read his book?
So I actually read the first one.
Okay.
The second one, I kind of skipped. But we're not going to talk about that now.
Okay.
But the third one I'm on to, I actually started reading it when he was coming to pick us up from... I'm not sure where, but he was coming to pick us up, so I just read a little bit of that.
Okay, well, let me find out. Skip. Clearly, you weren't impressed with the second one, but what did you think of the first and the most recent one?
The first one, I have to say that it was actually really good, and he's such a great role model for us and for other children out there, and I think he's just such a nice man, so handsome and honest.
Nikia, okay, by the way, Dario, you're not going to get more pocket money. You will not get more pocket money. I do not want... You can say, tell me the truth, Ron.
She's buying
fine.
face.
That's it, yes.
I feel like we need to actually just get Yusuf into another room and then ask him if we want real answers.
I didn't prep for this. Just buy it,
I
guys.
can see him on the couch. You also correct.
Yes. That's brilliant. Okay, so I would like to go to Thamina first. Hi there. By the way, you have to respond to me in Afrikaans.
What? She has to respond in Afrikaans?
She has to. She must.
All right.
Right? Is it okay?
Yeah,
That's what the people want.
Right, Thamina, please tell me about your dad's, the way he inspired the family. Okay, ready? Go.
Kan ek dit in Engels doen?
Nee. Jy moet in Afrikaans. Jou part vir my gesê jy moet in Afrikaans antwoord. Dankie.
Okay, so ek het die derde boek gelees gisteraand, né?
Ja.
En dit was baie inspirasie vir my, want ek het in hierdie boek gelewe. Dit was die tyd wanneer ek was 'n kind.
Yes.
So ek is die ouerste.
Papa van ver
en ek het nie realize dat dit het gebeur. So wanneer ek lees die boek, dan ek was geskok, ek het geweet dit was sleg in ons lewe, maar ek het nie geweet wat hy het gegaan dier.
Gegaan dier. Gegaan dier.
Ek is nie 'n dier nie.
Hey, I'm not gegaan dier a lot in your life. Thamina, thanks for being a great sport. Okay, so you can go in English again. I apologize, but it was his idea. It was Yusuf's idea, okay? But you did so well. Honestly. There's going to be an Afrikaans show, an SABC show that's going to be like, look at Thamina. I would like somebody who has gaan dier, but she's gone.
There we go. En dan kop is hier.
Ja,
I gotta ask about. I love this. I love this honesty. I love the realness because we are such a mixed nation of just whatever comes out of our mouth. That's how we express ourselves.
Exactly.
Where did this come about? Because I happened to see a video on YouTube which is hilarious.
Yes.
Thousands of people seem to love this as well. Where did this all start?
So it was actually the most random thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life.
Yeah.
I was writing university exams, so my first exams ever, and I was so stressed and scared and nervous and everything. And my dad told me, "Come and make a live, but you speak in Afrikaans." So I had to vent in Afrikaans. And I didn't think anything was going to happen. And then 1 million views later, and I was just like, okay, now everyone knows I can't speak Afrikaans.
Oh, today you did prachtig.
You did amazing.
Afrikaans today.
According to you, yeah. Yes, look what you've hanteerd in your life. Just don't forget that. You must. It's important. Okay, so I was told by your son that I shouldn't ask him any questions.
Oh, please ask him 10.
Daniel, he looked at me. He said, "Uncle Carl." When you call me Uncle Carl, I'm going to ask you. All right. So, Daniel. Welcome to Expresso, live on S3. Just a quick one. Your father in one word. One word, just one.
Ooh. Why is he thinking so long?
In one word.
There's so many horrible words coming up.
Yeah.
I'm going to use more than one word.
Okay, go for it.
Basically, he just buys us food.
Buy?
Can I eat the child on air? I would love to say that word.
I should have asked him earlier.
Look, at least you're ticking one box, eh? I'll take it.
Yeah, that's all I'm there for.
You guys are absolutely awesome. I'm going to ask you, in all the chaos of what seems to be a beautiful family, what are you guys learning the most about your experiences? For any one of you can answer this one. I mean, any lessons learned throughout this journey, the hustle, the struggle, but at the same time just being what seems to be an absolutely beautiful family?
Okay, so I can answer this one. So something that I'll always remember my dad, especially through this journey, is how to be humble.
Okay.
My dad is literally the humblest man you'll ever meet.
Okay.
There's never a day when he's like, oh yeah, I'm an author. Like it's been such a random thing for us because firstly we didn't know he could write.
No, thank you.
He can't read. So, in all of its entirety, we just...
Is she supposed to say nice things about me? No, go.
It's all about honesty. Yeah.
She was, okay.
Carry on, child, please.
No, I love that. I think that is absolute magic. Daria, we've got a question for you, right?
Yes,
we can have some fun. We've been having fun all morning, right?
Okay, so the question is simple. If your life, right, okay, were a book, what would the book be called? Simple.
So, if my life, I feel like my life would be called the book The Dancing Dragon, because I love dancing, honestly. I feel like it's a really nice thing to do, and it's not so easy for other people.
And cut.
Oh, but no, continue. So,
she's taking a break here.
Dancing Dragon, no, if you're a dancer, I think you should own it. That's great, eh?
I
It's
love
beautiful.
that, yeah.
No, she's quite good, I must say. If you've seen her, she's got skill.
Maybe she can teach me because I need some of those skills. But of course, guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's an absolute pleasure chatting to you all, seeing the magic that you produce.
Thank you,
well
guys.
done. 3 full-time jobs that look like exceptionally beautiful dragons. So thank you all for joining us this morning. Net 7 prachtige woorden there. Thank you so much.
Dankie baie dat u het vir ons gehad.
Say it gebruik. That's why
mooi is E.
Not J.
Niet J nie. Nee, Rustenburg girls is E.
Yes, it's so true.
Yes.
It just shows you. But this amazing family will be sticking around on your Feel Good Breakfast show. But for now, let's take a look at the news of the world. Met E.
Dankie julle en nou kyk ons na die nuus op 8 vir jou Feel Good Breakfast show. A government hospital has successfully conducted its first low-dose rate prostate brachytherapy procedure. Now, the procedure was conducted at the Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital. Health Minister in the Executive Committee, Nomathemba Mokgethi, said that the procedure was conducted by the Charlotte Maxeke Johannesburg Academic Hospital's Radiation Oncology Unit, headed by Dr. Duvern Rameya. Now, the treatment is used to cure early-stage prostate cancer or combined with external beam radiotherapy for slightly more advanced cancer. The cure rates for the procedure are high with minimal side effects. Staying in South Africa, the Hawks have swooped on 2 suspects for dealing in rhino horns worth more than 2.4 million rand. Hawks spokesperson Captain Tlangelane Rikotso said the suspects, aged 72 and 31, were arrested in Vryburg. They are due to appear in the Vryburg Magistrates Court today. The pair was arrested during a buy-and-bust operation where they allegedly attempted to sell rhino horns, and both rhino horns were seized for further investigation. In international news, Zimbabwe is officially allowing the use of ivermectin to treat COVID-19 as the third wave of infections sets in. Preliminary research findings in the UK from a small pilot study on the drug used to treat parasite infections shows that administering it early to COVID-19 patients could reduce viral load levels. Now, the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe has been authorized to import human formulations of the vaccine manufactured by compliant facilities. Meanwhile, Zimbabwe is to receive 2.5 million doses of the Sinopharm vaccine from China by the month end. And of course, the first batch, 500,000 vaccines, arrived on Saturday. The US government says it has no explanation for dozens of unidentified flying objects seen by military pilots. A Pentagon report just released says that 144 reports that they received. Of all of those made about the phenomena since 2004, 143 lacked sufficient information in their data set to attribute incidents to specific explanations. It does not rule out the possibility that the objects are extraterrestrial, and most of the reported cases were in the last 2 years. The US Congress insisted on the report after the US military reported numerous instances of objects seen moving erratically in the sky.
And now news concerning a well-known beacon in Cape Town. The statue of Oscar the Seal is a well-known beacon at the Cape Town V&A waterfront, and of course also the mascot of a 5-star luxury hotel overlooking the Atlantic. The story of Oscar the Cape Fur Seal is the stuff of legends. Oscar was named after the kind-hearted fisherman with whom he shared an unlikely friendship. The two would meet every day on the pier near where the hotel stands today. After the fisherman's passing, Oscar continued to visit the site. And now Oscar has a friend. Sculptor Godfrey Dambuleni has created a duplicate version of Oscar using spent Nespresso capsules from the hotel. Now, Dambuleni, a Zimbabwean who has lived in South Africa for 23 years, said he visited our studios. Well, we know that he visited our studios in March this year. He runs a studio in Salt River, and for the past 5 years, he's been using Nespresso capsules to make elephant rhinos. We've seen them. They look beautiful. He's made human beings as well. Dambuleni says that the 1.5-meter statue of Oscar is made of 3,000 capsules and took some 3 weeks to make. Now, the hotel's general manager, Joanne Selby, who commissioned the art, to make the version of Oscar the Seal, says that the hotel views sustainable awareness very seriously, and it's beautiful artwork that has come through out of that partnership. That's where we leave it for this morning. Here's a final look at what's happening in sport with Graham.
Now, taking the tally after a bumper weekend of sport, let's start with cricket. The Proteas claimed a 16-run victory over the West Indies at the National Cricket Stadium in St George's late last night. South Africa posting 166 for 7 in their allotted 20 overs. The Windies failing to reach their target, finishing on 150 for 9. So that means South Africa have now levelled the 5-match series, 1 apiece. Of course, on Saturday, previously, the West Indies registered an 8-wicket win over the Proteas in that first T20. Now can look forward to the third T20 match, which will take place tomorrow from 8 p.m. South African time. Then on to rugby. The Bulls and Griquas bounced back from their opening round Currie Cup losses to record their first wins in the new campaign. The defending champions, the Bulls, they beat the Pumas 32-27 at Loftus on Friday. Then the Griquas showed some class to beat the Cheetahs 31-10 in Kimberley. The Currie Cup action will continue this coming Wednesday as the Cheetahs welcome the Bulls to Bloemfontein. And then there's a coastal derby between the Western Province outfit and the Sharks down in Cape Town. Now, staying with rugby action over the weekend, Borders women confirmed their place in the Women's Premier Division final, where they'll go head-to-head with the defending champions and log leaders, the form team this year, the Western Province. So Border claimed a 38-10 victory over the Sharks women to set up that final meeting with Western Province. Now, other results, the women from Cape Town thrashed EP Queens 41-15 to remain unbeaten in the competition, and the Boland Dames, they beat the Blue Bulls women 21-0 in Pretoria on Friday. Now on to continental football. Kaizer Chiefs have booked their spots in the CAF Champions League final. That was after a goalless draw against Moroccan team Virat Casablanca at the FNB Stadium on Saturday. So the Amakosi advancing on a 1-0 aggregate in the end, and that means they will face the reigning African champions Al Ahly on the 17th of July. This is in fact the first time that the Soweto Giants have advanced to the final in the club's history, so well done to the Amakosi. Now, staying with football, but on the biggest international stage at the moment, Belgium, they stunned reigning European champions Portugal 1-0 in Seville to secure their spot in the Euro 2020 quarterfinals. Belgium, along with the Czech Republic and Italy, who they'll face in that quarterfinal, and Denmark, have all advanced to the last 8 now. The round of 16 results saw Denmark thrash Wales 4-0, Italy beating Austria 2-1, and the Czech Republic beating the Netherlands, who were down to 10 men, 2-0 to advance there as well. There'll be 2 Euro 2020 fixtures today. Croatia taking on Spain at 6 p.m. And then in the late game, world champions France will be up against Switzerland at 9 p.m. And then finally on to motorsports. It's a happy hunting ground for him. Red Bull's Max Verstappen, he's extended his lead at the top of the drivers' standings after winning the Styrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring yesterday. 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton, he finished in 2nd place, and his Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas, he rounded off the podium positions in 3rd. Well, that's a wrap of your sporting action for this Monday morning. Let's get one last look at the weather and a couple of warnings to take on board, so please stay tuned.
Thank you, Graham. And let's start with those warnings. An orange level 5 warning for rain resulting in flooding today over the city of Cape Town, as well as a yellow level 2 warning for the southern parts of the West Coast. The Cape Winelands and the Overberg has been issued by the SA Weather Service. An intense cold front was expected to make landfall early this morning, leading to heavy downpours with falls of 45 to 65 millimeters near the mountainous regions. Light snow is also possible over the western high lie-lowing areas of the Western Cape this afternoon. The wet weather is expected to persist throughout the week as several cold fronts are on their way. Rainfall is likely to continue over the Western Cape and western and southern parts of the Northern Cape tomorrow and on Wednesday and Thursday. In contrast, spring-like weather is predicted for the northeastern parts of the country. Warm to hot temperatures can be expected in low veld of Mpumalanga and Limpopo and the eastern parts of KwaZulu-Natal. And while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your parts of South Africa, we do also have some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the US. So for our last update for this morning, we journey to Winslow. This is a city in the Navajo County in Arizona, in the United States. Winslow is more than just a throwback town to the days of Route 66, with petroglyphs, outdoor adventures, and the best preserved meteor impact site on Earth. Winslow combines history and nature's beauty in one place. Today in Winslow, you can expect partly sunny conditions reaching a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius. And we also say thank you to our lovely viewers that take the time to capture and share their sunrise photos with us. We really do love seeing how you start your day. So let's quickly recap for your Monday morning. We started off with one of our regulars, Alan Rudnicki, who shared this stunning and picturesque fresh winter morning from Sutherland as the sun begins to rise. Then Gershwin Shaw, another regular from Pretoria, shared the soft morning view as the sun rises in the distance over the hills. Inati Charles from East London shared this beautiful view of the pink sky in the region. And one of our regulars, Nancy Govender from Pennington and KZN, shared yet another stunning photo with the sun rising over the ocean in her area. Now, if you would like to see your photo featured during one of our weather segments, it's really easy. Just head on over to the Expresso Facebook page and share your sunrise view and location with us. Let's quickly get into those temperatures one last time. Sunny in Polokwane with a low of 8, a high of 24. Mbumbela 14, 33. Sunny in Pretoria today reaching a high of 22. Johannesburg 10 with a high of 20. Sunny in Mahikeng 8, 26. Klerksdorp 6 with a high of 25. Partly cloudy in Kimberley today, 3 is your low, 24 your high. Bloemfontein 1 reaching a high of 22. If you're in Richards Bay, 19 is your low, 31 your high. Pietermaritzburg 8, 29. Durban 16, 29. Sunny in Mthatha, a low of 5, a high of 28. East London 11, 28. Cradock 3 reaching a high of 23. Kabeja, partly cloudy with a high of 22 for today. George expects some rain with a low of 8, a high of 18. The mother city is very cold today, a low of 9, a high of 14. Worcester 11, 15. Sutherland starting off with 1, reaching a cool 11 for today. And Uppington, a low of 6 with a high of 23 degrees Celsius. And that's where I leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
All right, so here we go. We have the lovely family still here. We've got all the dragons here as well as Yusuf, and you know that there are 3 books that could be yours in the next second, but also we asked you some things on social media inspired by Yusuf's books, and it was simple. If your life was a book, what would the title be? Yeah. So, I know Dario already, you gave us your answer, which was you're going to be dancing, the book will be called Dancing Dragon.
Dancing Dragon.
A story of dragonly dances. Yeah, that's it. But then we didn't get a chance to ask everybody, so Danielle, if you don't mind. I know you said I mustn't ask him questions. So I'm going to do it anyway. Is it okay? Nera, is it fine? Thank you. It's all right. So Danielle, if your life was a book, what would the title be?
The name of the book will be A Quiet Place.
Ooh.
Isn't that a movie?
It could be, but I like that. A Quiet Place.
Yes. Isn't there with the creatures? If you make a move, then that's.
As he said it, Yusuf, he looked like at you like this. A Quiet Place.
Yeah, he did actually. Just be careful resting tonight.
And you know what would your title be? I know you're quite well versed when it comes to reading. Yeah?
Yes, in Afrikaans.
Yes, but I didn't realize that we're supposed to make up a title.
Yeah, make
okay.
So mine would probably be Empathy.
Discover your face. Empathy is key.
That's so deep.
I like
Kind of
that.
sounds like a book already, right?
It does, actually. Is it a book?
I don't know. I don't think so. I just made it up now.
No, that's great. Empathy is key. Do you know what else is key?
What else is
dancing?
Key, it is.
It is key. Because if you want to express yourself, and your book is called Dancing Dragon, you know you must put your money where your mouth is. You understand what I'm saying?
We're going to put our
you
money.
actually you must dial what you must if you think about
okay,
it.
yeah,
Also, a book I've heard of recently. So, if I play your music, Daria, do you mind giving us a little bit of a something? Is it okay? Can I? A little jig, something. Are you ready?
The opening sequence to your book's title.
At your
Dario,
book launch.
the Dancing Dragon. That opening scene is about to go down. DJ, can we get some music?
Here we go. Hey, Dancing Dragon, yo.
There she is.
Whoa! Hey, hey, yeah. Venice in the 18th,
Oh, yes, indeed. I'm buying that book for sure.
That is so cool. That honestly felt like a TikTok video. Anyway, that is the family. And I mean, Yusuf, thanks so much for joining us. You are such an incredible guy. In fact, I'm not going to let you go. You have to stay here. Okay. But everybody has a story to tell, and everybody's story has the potential to help someone in some way. And we're doing something fantastic, giving you 3 books in one giveaway.
Yes.
3. That is what Yusuf has dialed out for us.
Yes.
So, living coloured, living liquor, and living the hustle. All you need to do is answer an easy question. What's the question, Ralph?
What is the question? The question is the following. What practices have helped you achieve goals the most? Yes, what practices have helped you achieve your goals the most? Let us know and share your answer on our Expresso Facebook page. Of course, the terms and conditions do apply, and you can check it out on expressoshow.com. And one last thing, the competition closes at 12 o'clock on Wednesday, the 30th of June. That's this week. You do not want to miss this. 3 opportunities to get the 101 guide to looking like a beautiful dragon and doing all the things involved in such. And as you can see, here it is right on the cover, the beautiful man himself. One of the
books there.
Get involved, people. 30th of June.
Yes, love this guy. Grab a book.
Care is bringing passion to everything you do.
Proving good taste and good values go hand in hand.
Care is what goes into every single cup of Nespresso.
Made with care. Hecho con cuidado.
Nespresso. What else?
Well, you know what that tune means. It's time for us to talk all things relationships. And the universal state of grief has overcome us in, in the midst of COVID-19, this pandemic that we're in, whether it's over people we've lost, loved ones we've missed, or even milestones that we haven't been able to share or celebrate. Grief is still, however, one of the most personal emotions one can experience, and there are so many ways that it can manifest.
Yeah, so true. So now it's Monday, and that means we're obviously talking all things relationships. And today we're asking, how has the COVID-19 pandemic affected the process of grieving? Now, it's a big topic, and here to discuss it all is clinical psychologist Asha Dulab, and she's joined by Yusuf Daniels, who we've been chatting to earlier in the studio. Of course, we're going to weigh in on the topic. Firstly, Asha, let's just welcome you to this chilly Monday, of course, but we're always warmed by your education and your presence here. So thank you for joining us.
And this is a very important topic, the discussion of grief.
Yeah.
I believe there are various stages to it. A lot of people know the 5 stages, but you said there are many levels to it. For someone like myself that's not aware of the different stages of grief, what can we expect with these?
So the stages of grief are denial, anger, depression, bargaining, and then acceptance. But like I say, there's many emotions that one experience in between those levels, but that's just a lovely guideline to really get in touch with one's emotions on all of those levels.
Okay.
Yusuf, I mean, you mentioned earlier in our chat that we had with you, and I appreciate you for your honesty, but you're mentioning a recent passing of your mother, and absolute condolences go out from everyone at the studio. But is this something that you can potentially identify with regards to these phases? And I mean, where do you come to terms with when you're dealing with something like this?
So yeah, my mom passed away on the 29th of December, just after the Baxter show that I've done. And it was also due to COVID-related illness. But you know what I found? I'm generally a very strong, mentally strong person. That is who I am. But that hit me so hard, I was not ready for it. And all the circumstances around it, like you couldn't go into the hospital to see her, so I didn't find closure. So that, for me, I was probably going to deal with it for a long time. But I feel that people always say, are you okay? Are you... I think just leave people be. Let them deal with it on their own time, I believe. I don't know, am I right in saying that?
Yes, I think what he's saying is like, let's give attention to this grief process. Let's not try to escape it all the time. Let's embrace the feelings, the pain, the suffering that goes with it. We need to actually give it attention.
But it doesn't also seem like it's something that anyone is preparing for. I mean, there's no rules in this game. And Yusuf, like you said, I mean, a man with a family, you're a protecting figure, you want to stay strong. This is inevitably going to rock you. So how do you then deal, which is something that I think we all, in our own certain way, somehow are just trying to adopt that sort of strategy, if anything. What was that process like for you? I mean, firstly, understanding what's going on, and then how do I now carry on with life?
You can never prepare for this. Never, ever, especially, I don't know, death in the family, but a mom, I don't know, there's just a special bond between a mother and a son, I feel. But guys, and for the men out there especially, it's okay to cry. Yeah. I sometimes just do something and I think of her and I'll drop a tear. It's just a reaction. You don't even, like I said, you cannot prepare for it, but it is just so real. And sometimes I just let go. I just let go on my own there, and I just okay, get that good chunk out, and then just move on a little bit later. But I feel better after that, I must say.
Yeah, it's like giving yourself permission to feel. And I think it's very important to note that every experience is unique. Everyone's grieving experience is unique, so you can't compare it to anybody else. It is a time that is painful. We need to have patience with ourselves. We need to be compassionate, and we need to actually accept as things are as they are in the moment.
Yeah. Now, Asha, what do you do in an instance where a loved one, you can witness their grief and they're in that denial process? How can you best support them to move from denial into that next phase? Or how can you show them you love them, but they're in denial?
Yeah. I think you just need to meet them where they are at, because they are all going to go through the grieving process in their own unique way. And some people can find themselves stuck in a certain stage. They don't necessarily have to go through the stages in a linear way. And we just need to allow people to feel what they're feeling in that moment.
Okay.
I love that. Well, look, Usher, we are going to be chatting to you a little bit further on this exact topic and kind of dive a bit deeper. So bring those comments through as well, because we can always entertain and always hear for the advice. But Yusuf, I want to say thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
It's a pleasure.
Seeing you walking in your stride, hustling every single day, and it's such it's a magical thing to see and witness. So thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Do you have any sort of suggestion from Zanzi out there? I mean, it's always good to have someone that we can relate to, someone that's a man, and for you, someone that's actually honest. Advice in terms of just dealing with any sort of grief right now in this process, especially during the pandemic. From Zanzi, I'm sure you might have some good advice for them, right?
You know, guys, just deal like she says, deal with it at your own pace. That's important. Don't worry about what everybody else says. It's you. Nobody will ever know what you are going through or feeling. So take your time with it. But you know what? After all of this, there's a time where you come and you just have to, like I said, you have to wake up, dress up, and show up. And one day we will all not be here, and life carries on. But you will always have those amazing memories that you created with that person, and that's what's keeping me going right now.
Oh man, I'm here to celebrate that and celebrate the memories. I love that, Yusuf Daniels. Thank you so much for joining us again. Have a beautiful start to your Monday, and we are here to start the rest of your Monday. Check this out.
And it really is all about dealing with it on your own terms. Wake up, dress up, show up. And here to show off with a piece of music, Cherie Peterson is back with another Gospel Monday performance. Next, she's going to be taking the floor to perform her title track. Came out #1 on the poll. It's called In the Waiting. Our poll-winning song talks about waiting on God, trusting His perfect timing and never losing hope. Don't be under pressure. It's not a race. And Cherie and, of course, Herschel on the keys. They take it away right now. The stage is yours.
In the waiting, I will keep praising. In the noise, I will hear your voice. In the waiting, I will seek your wisdom. In the confusion, you're my solution, and I will not lose hope. And I will wait on you. You make all things beautiful, and you are in control. Yes, you are. You are always faithful, and I will wait on you. Yes, I will wait. In the waiting, I will keep praising. In the noise, I will hear your voice. In the waiting, I will seek your wisdom. In the confusion, you're my solution, and I will not lose hope. No, no. And I will wait on you. You make all things beautiful, and you are in control. Yes, you are. You are always faithful. wash by. You live in waters, and I will grow from strength to strength throughout this time of waiting, of waiting. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, this is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3. On Mondays, we talk relationships, and Asha Dulab, she is with us as we continue the conversation around processing grief, especially during the times that we're in right now. Asha, it's been a very important topic. A lot of people are, they're not going through all the stages, or they are going through the stages, but they don't reach that point of acceptance. And I think there's a lot for us to discuss this morning.
Yeah.
I think acceptance alone also relates to how we accept other things in our life, other challenges. So it really goes back to a pattern of our general acceptance of life in itself. It is also, after acceptance, it's about finding meaning and purpose to life. So that, as I said earlier, there's different stages. And going back to work is a very challenging time. I think people need to be very easy on themselves, realize that it affects the whole human system. So we may still feel a bit fatigued. We may struggle with concentration, we may become emotional at work. So be kind to yourself, be easy, be compassionate to yourself. And I think just take one day at a time.
It really sounds like we do need to sort of honor the stage, especially when we are grieving. What are some of the best ways or mediums or means in which we can express our emotion? I mean, there's a lot of complex emotion we're dealing with, a lot of frustration, to say I don't know where to even begin with. How do we best express this emotion? And what's a great outlet for that? Because I'm sure there's a lot inside that we just need to come to terms with.
I think very important in during this grief is to cry. That's an outlet on its own. To journal, to write your story, to write your feelings. Of course, speak it out to someone if you can. If you need professional help, that's also available. Also meditate. That's also a beautiful way to express and just to go into a silent space. And pray. Prayer is something that we all need in this time of grief. So reach out, pray, and connect with other people, even via our electronic devices, our Zoom platforms. Let's try and still stay connected and ask for help when you need it.
And there are ways to connect safely, and I think a lot of people think staying home means staying away from the people that are close to them, and you can do that digitally, you can do that safely. Now, Asha, I know that there are some instances where loss is so profound, it shakes you to the core. Now, what is the process there in terms of being able to realize, okay, this was a life-changing experience? How do you move forward? How do you accept that?
Well, acceptance is one's personal journey, as I said, but change is inevitable, and we need to embrace the concept of impermanence. Nothing in life is permanent, not even COVID. COVID eventually will come to an end. And it's just about really getting in touch with one's life, looking at one's life consciously, finding purpose again, trying to accept every single day in what you are feeling, and just the circumstances around you. It's acceptance is a journey. It doesn't just happen with a given amount of time. It's really just a universal journey where we are just having to embrace deeper emotions.
Oh, I absolutely love that. We're speaking about grieving during this time in the pandemic. I think we've all gone through some form of grieving, whether it be something big or small. But what we're talking about right now is firstly honoring the grief, getting to really understand it, and then hopefully finding a way to accept and then somehow move on with that purpose. We're going to continue this chat very soon with Asha Dilab, our expert, weighing in on all that is regarded when it comes to dealing with grief right now. So stay tuned for that, because we're coming through. And of course, don't forget to ask us some questions, because yeah, we're here to answer to people. We got you, Mzansi. We'll see you soon.
So we have officially made it halfway through the year. Fantastic. We deserve a badge. We do. And December holidays are edging ever closer. So this morning we are playing a holiday-themed 5-second game. And I've asked Sasha Lee Laurel to go head-to-head against Yusuf Daniels. And winner takes home the coveted Omar Rusks trophy, which is a box of Omar Rusks that you can purchase. Yeah. But when you give it away, it has more value. Simple. Welcome, Yusuf.
Yes, I am here.
Welcome, Sasha Lee.
Thank you.
It is an honor and a pleasure to see. I have both of your posters up on the wall in my room.
And you're a good liar.
Thank you very much. Yeah. You're welcome. Now, I'm going to give you, all right? It's going to be very quick. 5 seconds to give me these answers, please. And remember, just think on your feet. Think as easy as
I just want to let you know, I left the Grace at that mark there.
Yes?
There.
Grace.
Can you see that?
This Grace.
Who is Grace? Yeah, I was going to ask.
I don't know Grace. No.
Yes, but that's okay. Yeah. All right, Sasha, you're up first. Are you ready? Sasha Lee, stand by. Right? We have Miss SA 2019. Woo! And... So, Miss SA, right, let's go.
Yeah, it's all right.
Here we go, Sasha, what's you?
Yeah, it's all right.
3 books, I mean, come on. Okay, all right, Sasha, here we go. Name 3 island holiday destinations.
The Maldives, the Seychelles, Hawaii.
Perfect. Done and dusted.
She was about to say Robben Island.
You could tell. I thought you were going to say Pardon Island. Anyway, right, moving along. Yusuf, name 3 things you can do on an island holiday.
No. Swim, not wear your Speedo, and yeah.
You know...
Yo, I'm so happy that like you censored yourself for the first
And you know, his kids, the money was on me.
I know.
They said over there.
And they're walking home, yeah?
I'm sorry, guys.
They're walking home.
I'm so glad. By the way, he was about to say paw. Right, moving along. Sasha Lee, stand by. Name 3 things kids love to do on holiday.
Eat ice cream, eat watermelon, eat food.
Eat. Just eating. Somebody is hungry this morning, you can tell.
They do.
Eat. That's how it goes. Yusuf, name 3 things an Omar would love to do on holiday.
Slap the Opa, because he's working on the nerves. Go shopping and eat rusks.
Yes! That's it.
Why answer?
And you know, when you eat the rusks as well, you have to take the teeth out first. And then
So you suck a rusk.
Anyway, Sasha Lee. Oh, this is going south. Right, name 3 things you can do in America.
In America, go to the Eiffel. Oh, I need it. Guys.
The Eiffel what?
He may be booked.
Wait.
No, it's my books.
What? Guys, I feel like I do get an extra 10 seconds.
Okay, I know what you were about to say. In Las Vegas, there's an Eiffel and, yeah.
There.
I knew what you were talking about. It's fine. Sasha Lee, don't worry, I got your back. Can you imagine? Have you ever been to the Eiffel Tower? I have. It's in my hood, Missouri. Moving along. Okay, cool. Right, Yusuf, name 3 things you can do in the snow.
Go to the Eiffel Tower.
It's wherever you want it to be. It's wherever you want it to be.
And ski nog. Yeah.
You know what?
Go to the Eiffel
Should we at least get another round so that we can...
Another round for you coming your way. Here we go.
Right.
Sashali, redeem yourself with this. Name 3 South African towns you'd love to visit.
I have not been to Mitchell's Plain yet. I haven't been to...
What?
Oh, sorry, guys. I thought it was a conversation.
She don't deserve those rusks, I'm sorry. No.
I really want
Okay, well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Are you ready for yours?
Eiffel Tower way.
Name 3 things tourists can do in South Africa.
They can get robbed, they can enjoy the view, and they can...
Eiffel Tower!
Go to Mitchell's Plain. There you go.
You see, the thing
Yes.
is, I never said Eiffel Tower. I said Eiff.
That's too late,
Yes,
girl.
exactly.
The whole world's
And then you filled in.
Yes, I did. It's
could've
actually
said
me. No, I'm going to take this on me. I'm sorry. She was going to say, I've never been there.
I've
and
never.
I said Eiffel Tower. It's fine.
Exactly.
Okay, right, Sashali, let's go for another round. Here we go. Name your 3 dream holiday activities.
Snowboarding, skiing, and paragliding.
Perfect.
You won't find that in
well
Mitchell's Plain.
answered. You might.
You could.
Okay. Also,
There's
yes, there's
nothing
something in Paro called paragliding, which would work as well. Moving along. Yusuf, name your 3 worst holiday activities.
The Eiffel Tower wasn't lekker, firstly. And then, yeah.
Can we move past
I can't,
this,
I can't, I'm sorry, I
said
can't.
Okay. So, I have to announce a winner after all these rounds. I know there were some great answers that came through, but I think in terms of enthusiasm and in terms of encouragement to get this person to visit Mitchell's Plain, Sashali, the Omar Rusks are yours. Congratulations! Yes! Well done.
I've been waiting for this moment the
I'm
whole
so
day.
done with you.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
It's fine. Look, I still love you. You know that. I do. I love you to Eiffel Tower and back. I really do. All right, moving along. Okay. Well done to Sashali and Yusuf Daniels. Please go get his book, Miss SA 2019 and Mr. Right, moving along. Speaking of road tripping, we want to know which town in South Africa you'd love to travel to and dip a Omar whilst on holiday. Could be Mitchell's Plain. Let us know your dream location on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter page, and you could win 1,000 Rand and delicious Omar Rusks hamper. $1,000. Hey, Eiffel Tower in America could get you there. Remember to use the hashtag dipping time in your answer. Every entry also guarantees you a spot in the lucky draw to win a Smeg hamper worth 12,000 Rand. This is your last week to enter. All T's and C's can be found on the ExpressoShow.com page. And I just want to wish you bonne chance. That's what they say in America sometimes.
Anytime is dipping time when it's with the ones you love.
If a cozy winter blanket brings a glow to your face, it's a lifesaver for children and families in need. So partner with us and Game to help Gift of the Givers and the Homestead Project for Street Children wrap a new blanket around every cold set of shoulders that we can. Donate to any new blanket in collection boxes at select Game stores nationwide up until the end of June. And obviously with COVID-19 regulations meaning only new ones are accepted, each blanket is going to be a treasure to someone.
Yes, you're alive once again, obviously for the last time. We're going to be having this conversation with our resident psychologist, and we're talking about grieving during the COVID-19 pandemic and how it's affected your process of grieving. Now, of course, Asha's here to discuss this, unpack it, and help you out. And Wayne, any questions that you've brought through on our social media pages as well. But such an important topic, and I think everybody can identify with this, Asha. It's grieving. It's something that's been taking place for over a year now, definitely, yeah.
It definitely encapsulates everything that we've been experiencing.
Yeah. And Asha, I mean, when I think of grieving, it's more than just mourning the loss of someone, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's mourning of everything. It can be a separation of a relationship. It can be mourning our independence, our dreams, our milestones that we may be missing. So much. I think even adolescents are grieving school, peers, connections. There's multiple layers of grief that we go through.
Yeah. Look, I've been saying this a lot in the intro, and I really do mean this, and maybe it's a great time to unpack this, because we have all experienced grief, and the COVID-19 pandemic has brought on grief when it comes to the loss of our old way of life even. I mean, if you haven't lost anyone close to you, that in itself is a big loss, something we grieve, and I think there's a few people that are holding on to that, trying to clench back on that old way of life, and then some of us that are maybe lucky enough to potentially move on with this new way. How do we find clarity in all of this chaos? How do we move on?
Yeah, I think it's the new normal that we speak about. I think that we are clenching to the sense of familiarity. That's what makes us feel safe and secure in this world. It's our survival now at the moment. So, but at the same time, we are learning so much about ourselves through all the grief that we are going through. There's a collective energy of, you know, the memory of our struggles, but also the greater empathy we have for each other, for ourselves, the compassion that's evolving, and our growth. I mean, change brings growth. I think grief gives us the capacity to actually feel to such a deep level that, you know, when we feel pain, we feel the opposite of that as well. So grief gives us that capacity to feel emotions on two different extremes, and we need to embrace this depth of emotion that we have to experience.
I think it's something that you always have this perception of, like, I want to be strong, I don't want to grieve, but it seems like there's so much positive. It's a necessary step and process that we need to go through, of course. Asha, thank you so much for this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure always chatting to you. If you guys have any questions or are struggling with grief and need some assistance, Asha is available online. You can reach out to her. She is absolutely qualified, and you can get on ashadulab.com as well for anything when it comes to grief. But again, thank you so much.
There we go. Thank you. That email address once again is info@ashadulab.com.
Oh, and now time for some more kitchen inspiration. And today is all about those family favorite dishes, and there are many of them. We keep bringing them your way. We have our favorite food muse in the house. It's Graham Richards. He likes to experiment and play with the dishes.
You didn't sound so sure.
No, I was absolutely sure. Everyone knows that you are our favorite food. Sometimes it is a bit of a feud with you and food, right? Oh, man. One of Graham's favorite dishes is a delicious rustic Portuguese pork paprika stew served with parsley potatoes. Yes, please!
It is awesome. Trust me, it is absolutely awesome. We're using kind of like a pork rib that we've sliced up here, but you can use any kind of pork. Pork, so full of flavor. It's got all the good fats in it.
Seeing bone.
Add, a little bit of bone, a little bit of fat. That means more flavor. So what we've done is we've just caramelized those up so that kind of renders a bit of the fat, gets the flavor out. You've got to caramelize your meat before we put it into our stew. So I've had my onions have been going nicely there. They're starting to get a nice color to them brown. Then our finely chopped celery. There's little ways you can make this kind of go easier on yourself. Finely chop the ingredients. We've pre-soaked our beans as well. These are large white kidney beans.
Why do you pre-soak them?
To rehydrate them, so that you'll find most of them come stored really dry. Unless you buy them tinned and in brine in a solution themselves, they'll be dried. So you've got to reconstitute that. So we've given them 24 hours in water. Did you just eat one of the
I just want to.
And how was that experience?
To see the rehydration process, if it's actually worked. I mean, and I'm sure it has. I mean, I'm sure it has worked. I can't tell.
The least interesting thing that you could ever eat is an uncooked.
It doesn't taste
large
very
white kidney bean.
Nice, I'll tell you that.
Okay, the celery is going nicely here. That seems to be going a little bit more translucent. So I think we can start adding all the other cool things. So what does Chef Clem always say?
Bay leaf. But you know, he's actually really converted me because I have found I put bay leaves in everything.
Yeah, completely. Especially stews and things like that that are going to slow cook. Okay, so we've got some tomato paste, some oregano.
Fantastic. You love that.
I do. It's one of the herbs that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Unlike a coriander, we've got some beautiful bird's eye red chili, garlic paste, and
garlic. Yes, garlic. Guys, let's ramp up on that.
Smoked paprika.
Now.
And this is where the Spanish flavors really come in. With that smoked paprika, it's going to add.
Well, it's that the Portuguese flair and the flavor that comes through in the paprika. I love that so much.
And then a bit of black pepper and mix that through.
Mix it all up together. Well,
let the flavors infuse.
Yeah, mix it all together. Infuse all of those. We've done this for you. We've made it super easy for you to get the recipe. What you need to do is go on our website. It's www.expressoshow.com. On there, you're going to find this recipe. You'll see a picture of the lovely finished dish, and then you have all of the ingredients there as well. Now the meat goes in.
The pork is going in. I mean, you can probably do this in any order that you want.
Yeah.
Also, certainly don't want to lose all those beautiful kind of juices of the meat, but I want this kind of this beautiful, it's almost a paste that we've created in the bottom there. I did add a bit more olive pride just to give us a bit more oil to coat the meat in.
Well, you'll see in the recipe,
lovely.
It says that a cooking time is about 60 minutes, and that's because really it's ideal that, you know, you sort of prep and slow.
Yeah, this is low and slow. Once you've got the meat braised and once you've caramelized it, you want the meat to soften as much as possible.
Yes.
So the beans have gone in, and then finally just a bit of chicken stock to cover it.
That's it. And the beans will take some time to obviously just, you know, soften up and be ready. So that's 60 minutes serving, cooking time. And this recipe we're making serves up to 6 people because of the beans. And Chef Clem does always say they really do extend.
They're going to kind of bulk it up. I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit. And this, guys, for about an hour, even an hour and a half, just test it. You'll see when all of the oils have kind of come to the surface, when the fat from the meat is rendered into the mixture and it's all soft. You want it to fall apart. Buddy, you're more than welcome. That one has been untouched so that you can go and have a mouthful and taste. And
I'm going to do that. This is, of course, approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation, so you know you are giving your heart the good stuff that it really does like. I'm going to taste this and tell you very, very quickly.
I thought you were going to
go straight for the meat.
Yeah, please.
Straight for the meat. Straight for the meat.
Am I still your kitchen muse?
No, I am.
Absolutely lovely. You can find this on expressoshow.com. Okay, nice.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's Moisture Plus, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour intensive moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso and S3, and you know you need a bit of a dance, and that's why we have something very special for you. We have been blessed to have singer and songwriter Cherie Peterson in studio with us, and this morning we had a beautiful Gospel Monday thanks to her. This song was written to encourage you to chase your dreams and believe you are good enough. And here is the amazing artist, along with G2 Square, Royal Rebels, performing arts movement dancers, to join in this song. It's Cherie Peterson with a song called Shine. Enjoy.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. You, yes you. Looking in the mirror, thinking you're not good enough. Favor, yes you, yes you. That dream you have been putting off is ready to be real. Rise higher to your desire. It's time to shine like a wildfire. Shine, look up to the sky and up below and shine. You made for this. Let's go. Shine, look up to the sky and up below and shine. You made for this. Hey. Remember your past does not define who you are. The only limitations is what you place on yourself. You destined for greatness. Yes, you. Rise higher to your desire. It's time to shine like a wildfire. Shine, look up to the sky and up below and shine. You made for this. Shine, look up to the sky and up below and shine. You made for this. No more regrets, no more comparing. You are enough, just who you are, just who you are. No more regrets, no more comparing. You are enough, so go out there and show yourself and look up to the sky and up below and shine. You made for this. Shine, look up to the sky and up below and shine. You made for this. You made from dust, more like stardust. Shining is your natural state. You are enough, just who you are enough. So shine, shine, shine.
Yes, ladies. Shine. Oh, beautiful.
Wow,
There we go.
That is beautiful. Please take a bow.
Yes. Guys are amazing.
Stunning.
And a huge
what a beautiful show.
thank
What a
you.
way
Wow,
to
man.
start the week, right?
We had a beautiful family. We had dragons on the show here.
Your kids are amazing. Can I thank you guys for the worst game of 5 seconds that was ever been played?
I don't know. That is from a white man's perspective. I feel like it was cool. I feel like it was good. Thank you guys.
I learned a lot about geography. You know, Eiffel Tower in America.
Sometimes
You have to go there.
imagine it. It's there. And I didn't say Eiffel Tower. I just said Eiffel.
Yes.
And then you
famous
filled it
Eiff
in.
Memorial.
So it could have been something.
So you guys are amazing. Everything that you're doing is so impressive. Just to, keep the fight going. We will keep sending people to your platform to sign up for tertiary education opportunity to change your life. Don't laugh. We
And
love
get his book, guys. Get his book. We'll see you tomorrow morning. We love you.
Adios.
Dada, what you must.
Dada.
Diallo, what you man?
Well done, guys.
Whether you're saying thank you or we believe in you, nothing says it quite like a home-cooked favorite. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.